Me got baby face, me big boss man. Me like America, me got good plan. Mexico water make Gulf US survey. Me make Zelensky say thanks to my face. Me got baby face, me got big chair. Trump bad, Trump good, me no care. Me write big book, kill billies and stuff. Now me import and wear tie up tough. Me go Yale school, me learn big word. Now me forget everything me heard. Silicon people give me job, me take. Now me like Trump, me make no mistake. Yo, it's JD Advance. Me fight walk folk, me say never die. Me protect kids, me born liberal. Him, them, there. America simple, only two gender. Me face, me big boss man. Me like America, me got good plan. Mexico water make Gulf US survey. Me make Zelensky say thanks to my face. Too many gender for my agenda. Went on a bender, execo the sender. Might take Panama just like na. Might take Gaza, pop then a plaza. Vibes, witness my majesty.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to CobraCast 199. I am your host, Jeremy Prime, Mage IDOT of Unit 199. Happy to see all of you here on a Sunday, right when the Super Bowl is happening. We have a lot to talk about, but it's also going to be kind of a chill stream because I'm keeping my eye on the Super Bowl right now, which is 12-0 Seattle. New England has not scored a point. I felt like Seattle was the better team, but there's a lot to talk about, a lot. Harley Dave with 1776 says, we will never relent. Hail Harley Dave. Marmillan says, I was late for the pre-stream chat grift text. Oh no. To be fair, I set this stream up a little bit late, so you are forgiven. You are forgiven. It's all good. But yeah, man. So there's a lot to talk about. And the big story right now, there's actually multiple stories. So it could be a long stream because I wanted to go live yesterday and I didn't get a chance. And I apologize for that. But I figure I'll try to make it up tonight. And there's a lot to talk about. Obviously, at the forefront is what happened with Super Bowl halftime show and Turning Point USA. Which is, I'll be honest, I did not expect Turning Point USA to do what they did. I was absolutely blown away by the success in numbers. Now, I'm always going to be as real and honest as I can, but I also like to give perspective. And this is how I approach the entertainment world. This is how I try to approach political stuff, sports, whatever it is. I try to give perspective outside of my own. All right. So let's talk about what happened tonight. The Super Bowl is going on. It's the most viewed TV event. The Super Bowl halftime show this year was an artist named Bad Bunny. I don't even know if I knew who Bad Bunny was. Frozen? Are you fucking kidding me? Really? Are we frozen? There's no way. Stream health. I've got an excellent connection right now. Are we back? Okay. All right. In order to live up to my reputation, I would like to take this opportunity to let you know that the only way YouTube will not freeze my stream is if you send super chats all throughout the stream. This is the only way we can keep the stream from freezing. At least that's a theory of mine. If you send super chats, it'll keep us from not freezing. That's my theory anyway. So we'll go with that. Marmillan says F tax. Thank you. Demi Moore's Tapeworm says, Jeremy, you never told us you were in the movie There's Something About Mary as the cripple guy. Bro, I just saw it last night. Sneaky Devil. I love that movie. There's Something About Mary. Fantastic movie. Fantastic movie indeed. Delona says, I don't like country music, but I enjoyed TPUSA show. Doug B199 for $1. What up, Dougie B? Peter says, Hail Jeremy. Okay, so the Turning Point USA. Okay, let's get back to it. Bad Bunny performing at the Super Bowl halftime show. I don't know who Bad Bunny is. I don't know a Bad Bunny song, but apparently he's a big star internationally. Okay. But he made it very clear where he stands, that he supports illegal immigration. He supports the, open borders and all of that for, the United States. He's a Trump hater. He made that very clear in his Grammy speech. So this was clearly a move by the NFL to show their typical anti-American movement that they are all about. So Turning Point USA and Charlie Kirk had this vision. The late, great Charlie Kirk had this vision of doing something like this. So Turning Point USA puts together an alternative halftime show tonight for people that did not want to watch this garbage from Bad Bunny. So Bad Bunny has his Super Bowl performance. I would like to tell you what I thought of it. But much like when I go to a, Walmart in South Florida, I couldn't understand anything that was said. In the United States of America, we got a halftime performance from an artist that did not speak English. Speaks volumes about what the NFL is all about right now. So I didn't understand any of it. I didn't care. And so, but I watched it to see, because I was interested to see if there's going to be any political messaging. I don't know if there was political messaging because I didn't understand any of it. But it did feel like it was in South Florida. And basically, you could just call it Illegal Immigration, the musical. That's it. Illegal Immigration, the musical. Now, let's go to Turning Point USA. Turning Point, look, man, there's two ways I'm going to approach this Turning Point situation. Now, I'll be honest, I did not have high hopes for Turning Point's halftime performance. I just thought they'd get a few 100,000 people checking it out. I don't have anything against Kid Rock. I actually like Kid Rock's older stuff. Lonely Road of Faith is fantastic. His Devil Without a Cause album was legendary at the time. And I like some of his stuff. But Kid Rock has kind of become the de facto, hey, we have a musician that's going to perform for MAGA. And it's like, okay, great. Kid Rock is there. Whoop-de-doo. Kid Rock is everywhere we need a real musician to show up. So when that was the headliner, I was extremely like, ugh. Because I don't know anything about Nicki Minaj's music, but she's a massive star. And she clearly has a good relationship with Turning Point USA. And she's obviously pro-MAGA. And I felt like having Nicki Minaj at the Turning Point event could have really taken it to another level and really kind of had like this cultural shift. Now, that's all the qualifiers. With that said, Turning Point USA absolutely won, and won in a massive way. And I want to give credit to Erica Kirk and the Turning Point USA team. I know Jack Posobiec was very instrumental in this. Obviously, the performers headlined by Kid Rock. Oh my goodness. They crushed it. At one point in time, and this was my screenshot, but at one point in time, they had over 5 million concurrent viewers on the Turning Point USA channel. I'm going to say that again. 5 million concurrent viewers just on the Turning Point channel. The Charlie Kirk YouTube channel had about 1 million live at the same time. This is not including all of the other places that we're covering it, but a peak of 5 million on the Turning Point USA is insane. Now, again, what's going to happen from people that are stupid and retarded is they're going to say, yeah, but the Super Bowl had 100 million people watching. You're a retard, all right? You're an absolute retard. That is not the point here. The point is, from alternative viewing standpoint, for Turning Point to put this together and to have that many people watching concurrently on YouTube is a massive fucking win. And it lays a great foundation. Now, again, numbers to numbers, you're never going to compete number to number off of this one event. It's not going to happen. It's not even possible. And this is the stupidity of people that don't understand perspective. Just like we cover, theme parks at Geeks and Gamers. And, we're here in Orlando and all of that. Disney World has substantially bigger numbers than Universal. It's absolutely insane how many people visit Disney World. It's crazy. But Universal Studios has slowly but surely been chopping into the market share. And they have been doing it over the course of several years. And now it's at a point where they've got Disney in a tough spot. Now, it took about a decade for them to chip away at this. But they have chipped away and they have made some huge strides. Tonight, and I see it, Patriots just scored, finally got a touchdown, finally on the board. It's 19-6 pending extra point. Whether they go for 2, I don't know. But I doubt they'll go for 2. They should go for 1. But anyway, well, if they go for 2, and then they go for 2 again. If they score again, that could put them within a field goal. So we'll see what their strategy is. Anyway, point being is that Turning Point USA had a great night tonight, and there is so much to build upon with these numbers. This was incredible. It really, really is. And so I can't compliment them enough. I cannot do it. And so very, very, very proud of Turning Point for putting this together. And the Bad Bunny, again, I don't know what the overall response will be. But I didn't understand a damn word he said. I didn't understand a damn word anybody said. And guess what? We do have the opinion of someone who has a little bit more influence than Bad Bunny. We have the opinion of somebody who has slightly more influence than Bad Bunny. And that opinion would be one of Donald J. Trump. President Trump speaks on Bad Bunny's Super Bowl halftime show, calling it the worst. The Super Bowl halftime show is absolutely terrible. One of the worst ever. It makes no sense. Is an affront of the greatness of America and doesn't represent our standards of success, creativity, and excellence. Nobody understands a word this guy is saying. Yes. And the dancing is disgusting, especially for young children that are watching from throughout the USA and all over the world. This show is just a slap in the face to our country, which is setting new standards and records every single day. Well said, President Trump. Well said, indeed. We got a raid from Gary earlier. Thank you for the raid. And then Horny Alf just sent us a raid as well. Thank you for the raid, sir. Greatly appreciate it. So there's President Trump chiming in. And like I said, man, it was embarrassing. It was embarrassing. And yeah, so Trump is Trump blast the NFL halftime show. Let's freaking go. Again, I can't say enough about Turning Point. I tweeted out about it. I even tweeted this out right here and right here. Turning Point tonight. I won. They did. Turning Point USA won tonight. There is so much to build upon, but I'm just going to say, and I mean this with all due respect, MAGA needs to understand this. I like Kid Rock. Kid Rock cannot continue to be the headliner for every big MAGA / conservative musical event. He just can't. Like, he's not going to turn the needle beyond where we are. Like, Kid Rock is not the guy anymore. He's great. I like a lot of his songs. I appreciate that he's out there doing it. I really do. But Kid Rock is not that guy anymore, man. He's just not. So hopefully more people. Now here's something that, again, why this didn't happen, I don't know. I've already asked it, but the fact that Nicki Minaj was not at the Turning Point USA event, I think is a positive. Again, don't know her music, not interested in her music, but a lot of people are. She's a megastar. She's an absolute megastar. And so for her to be part of this event next year would be very, very smart on Turning Point USA's part. All right. The other guy that many people always recommend to me that I think absolutely sucks, but he has a fan base, the rapper, the white rapper. What's the white non-woke rapper's name? I'm waiting for somebody in the chat to tell me. Tom McDonald. Yes, Tom McDonald. I think Tom McDonald sucks. All right. I know everybody's always like, you should listen to Tom McDonald, Jeremy. He's super based. And I'm like, yeah, but he sucks. Like he just sucks. But people like him. All right. People like him. And I'm appreciative that he's out there doing his thing. But his music sucks. It's really bad. And listen, man, I listened to real rap back in the day. All right. I listened to Eminem when he had balls. I listened to Tupac. I listened to Rakim. I listened to Too Short. I listened to real rappers, not this crap from today. It's fucking horrendous. All right. But with that said, people like him. He has an audience, and that's what really matters. Okay. So as long as people like him, as long as he can bring people in, that's all that matters from my perspective. Let's see. Are we having issues here on the internet? I don't know what's going on with my internet right now. All right. It still says stream health is good. So, but I'm having all types of issues right now. You have to build up. Well, I definitely do understand that. Let's see here. I have issues, says Stephen. Me too, buddy. Me too. You'll fit right in around here. If you're having issues, I'm having issues. We're all having issues around here. So, okay. Jeremy was NSYNC in high school. Don't play. Bro, I listened to the fuck out of NSYNC and Backstreet Boys. I'm not sitting here telling you, I'm not naming rappers so you can think I'm cool, okay? I listen to fucking everything, including Backstreet Boys and NSYNC. I don't say shit on the internet so somebody thinks I'm cool. I'm not cool. I'm honest, all right? And being honest on the internet only gets you memed. I'm honest. I'm not going to front and lie like all of these other fucking streamers out there that are all worried about their image, okay? By the way, NSYNC was better than Backstreet Boys, okay? These are the facts, all right? This is the truth. NSYNC was better than Backstreet Boys back in the day. They just were. But Backstreet Boys have lived longer and have proven to be the better band with the more authentic people. Because truly, NSYNC was just carried by JT. But either way. Now, what we need to work towards, something with Turning Point USA. And this is where Turning Point could topple everything. So we get Nicki Minaj next year. We get Tom McDonald. We still can have Kid Rock there. Okay. We can still have Kid Rock. I don't know. We've only got a few years window here. Okay. We only got a small window to pull off the greatest performance of all time. So you get Nicki Minaj next year. All right. Then you get, Tom McDonald and the other people that were there. Then the following year, you bring in the big guns. You bring in Creed. Then you start to really change the game, okay? You bring in Creed as the headliner. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. You bring in Creed. All right. And then you have set the table for the ultimate Turning Point USA. Turning Point should just hire me. All right. I've got this whole thing planned out. Okay. Then you set up for the following year. You bring Creed back. You bring Nicki Minaj back. You bring in Tom McDonald. You bring Kid Rock. You bring all these people. All right. And then the following year, you headline as his official retirement. This would be like 2028, whatever. His official retirement, 2028, headlined by the king of country music, George Strait, to headline the event. And we officially win. Boom. Let's go. That's it. I just won everything for you, Turning Point USA. There it is. The king of country music, George Strait. Boom. And George Strait likes President Trump. He does. Like, he likes President Trump. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. It's a long shot probably, but we'll see. I like your thinking, Jeremy, says Rebecca from Arkansas. Hell yeah. Cody says George Strait might be dead by then. Hey, you watch your mouth, all right? George Strait will make it, all right? I said his retirement. It'll be his retirement right there, all right? That'll be his official retirement. Too bad Toby Keith is no longer with us. It hurts my soul to hear that. It really does. It really hurts my soul. That the great Toby Keith is no longer here. It really, really does, man. So terrible. Did you say Arkansas? Arkansas. Yeah, whatever. I'm from Alabama. Who gives a shit? Let's see. I don't think George Strait would be good for the halftime show. Bro, he's the king of country music. He would be amazing. Chad Gaines, you mean Chris Gaines? Garth Brooks' alter ego. Travis Tritt. R.I.P. Toby. Yep. Absolutely awful. Now, I am currently keeping an eye on the game. It is at how much time's left? 8:50, or like 9 minutes to go. Patriots have the ball. So here's what the Patriots have to do. And see, they should have went for two, but I get it. Intercepted. It's over. Interception. Seattle returns it to about the 37-yard line. That is, it's not game over officially, but it's pretty close to being game over. It's pretty close. Let's see here. I appreciate all of you guys and gals being here, because I guess you're probably not interested in watching the garbage known as the Super Bowl. And let's see. By the way, I have to mention, so I saw someone brought up Three Doors Down. Brad Arnold, lead singer for Three Doors Down, passed away at the age of 47. He had been battling cancer, and absolutely horrible. Brad Arnold, by every metric, was a great guy. And I think I do remember that Three Doors Down performed for Trump's first inauguration. I think. Yeah, man, 47 years old. That's tough, man. That is really tough. I was hoping, because I know when he announced he had, been diagnosed, and I was hoping he would, beat it, but no. But I think Three Doors Down performed at the first Trump inauguration. So, let's see here. My favorite, I see a lot of you mentioning your favorite Three Doors Down songs. A lot of you are going to mention Kryptonite, Here Without You, and all of that. I've got one that's a little kind of not as popular, but Leaving London from Three Doors Down. If you've never heard that one, I believe Bob Seger is in that song. Leaving London is my favorite Three Doors Down song. Phenomenal song. So much passion in that song. It's not one of their more popular songs. It's a well-known song, but it's not like up there with, some of their mega hits. But if you haven't heard Leaving London by Three Doors Down, you will. It's a phenomenal song. It's an incredibly phenomenal song. It's so good. Okay, let's see where we're at. So Seattle's about to score, and this will be game over. So Be Like That was a good one. Be Like That's a great song. They had a lot of great songs. Let's see. I'm gonna be honest. You know who's very, very happy about the Patriots getting whooped in the Super Bowl? Tom Brady. He is. I don't care. I don't care what anybody says. Tom Brady is going to take joy in watching the Patriots get the shit beaten out of them. What did I say? Landing in London. I'm sorry. Landing in London. Did I say it wrong? My bad. What did I say? Leaving London? Landing in London? I think that's what it was called. Yeah. Let's see. Three Doors Down is not a cool band. What? Bro, Three Doors Down is fucking awesome, man. What are you talking about? Jelly Roll. I don't know a ton about Jelly Roll outside of the fact that he seems like a generally great guy. Everybody that comes in contact with him seems to like him. I've heard him, be very, religious in his speeches, and he just seems like a good guy. Now, here's what I do know about Jelly Roll is he performed My List by Toby Keith at Toby Keith's memorial in front of his family. And it gave me chills to listen to him perform that song in front of Toby Keith's family. That was a powerful moment. And so he seems like a great guy. But I don't know a ton about him. I do see him appearing everywhere, and people seem to like him a lot. So, Jelly Roll is a gimmick. Seems good to me, but not my thing. Totally understand that. Again, I don't really know any of his actual songs. Does Dan Vask ever perform live? Jeremy never reads chat, says Harley Dave. Does Dan Vask ever perform live? I would like to. Okay, so I told you guys when I talked to you Saturday, I'm going to have to save it for my next stream, but I want to talk to you guys about this thing that's been presented to me that we could pull off. It would be kind of like our own. I got to be careful because people on my team are working on this, and they said don't talk about this yet because we're still getting some details on it. But we've been presented with an opportunity to do something really awesome, But we would have to. We would have to move a lot of tickets for it, and it would cost a lot of money to put it together. But so opportunity has been presented to us. And having live entertainment and shit like that is having live panels, having live entertainment, all of that. But it's a lot. So I'll talk to you about this tomorrow night when I do my stream. I need to see what I can and can't say because people on my team are talking to people about it right now. So, but we would have to get a lot of people to support this. Passion says that you guys are putting on a convention. Kinda. Kinda. But it's a little more like, again, just I'll give you more details. Kinda. Just as I'm going to ask Tommy. Tommy's the one that's working on this right now. So we'll see. I'll let you guys know. I got to get what I can and can't say. And this is the beauty about what's going on with Geeks and Gamers is there's shit that other people now are working on that, are helping build this thing up. And all I've got to do is be the beautiful face that the world sees. And I humbly accept that responsibility. I humbly accept that responsibility of being I'm just the beautiful face of G&G at this point, So we'll see. See, Perk says antifreeze. Is this to help me not freeze? Oh no, not that face. Thank you for that. Buns for 50 says anyone who loves NSYNC deserves my respect. Look at there. See? Just telling you, man. NSYNC was awesome back in the day. Backstreet Boys are still there, though. They're still, and listen, again, I'm only going to be honest with you, okay? That's all I can ever be. Because people will say, like, well, NSYNC broke up, but Backstreet are still together. Do you want me to tell you why Backstreet Boys are still together? You want me to be honest with you? And this is honest. That's all I can do, okay? So the reason that NSYNC is not together is because Timberlake became a megastar. The reason the Backstreet Boys are still together is because Nick Carter's solo career flopped. And so he had to continue to be with the Backstreet Boys because Nick Carter tried the Timberlake route and it flopped miserably. So you know what he did? He's like, let me go back to the Backstreet Boys and let's keep making a lot of money. That's what happened. That's the truth. Not hating, but that's just the truth. And everybody knows that's true. Every single one of you know that's true. Let's see. Harley Dave for 50 says I.con. Let's freaking go. So here's what I will say about the convention thing. And here's one of the things that I've ran into. I've talked to people that do conventions, that have done conventions. The one thing that people have told me is that you don't understand how much red tape is involved with trying to put on your own convention. You don't get it. The insurance, all of the bullshit red tape, all of it. It's so much that it will absolutely destroy you financially. You will not make anything. You will lose hundreds of thousands of dollars, permits, all this shit. Yes, security, fire mark. There's so much shit that goes on with it. And so, that's why we have an alternative that has been brought to us. So we'll see. But I'll give you guys more deets very soon. The man bro dude says, I always mix up $3, 3 doors down, and Matchbox 20 singers. What's the guy's name from Matchbox 20? Rob Thomas, right? Rob Thomas. And I remember Rob Thomas had that one song, I Don't Want to Be Lonely No More. Remember that song? I don't want to be lonely no more. You remember that one? And I remember when that song came on, and it was only as Rob Thomas, I kept singing that song as I don't want to be in Matchbox 20 no more. Because that's what it felt like. It's like, why aren't you with Matchbox 20? I don't want to be in Matchbox 20 no more. Like, that's what it felt like. Seattle just got a pick 6. Was it a pick 6 or a fumble? I just see a touchdown. I thought it was a pick 6. Somebody said fumble 6. You mean pick 6, right? It looks like a pick 6. I'm waiting for the replay. Strip sack, is that what it was? Strip sack. Okay. Scoop. Somewhere Tom Brady is laughing. Somewhere Tom Brady says, I'm still the GOAT, bitch. I'm still the GOAT. Somewhere Tom Brady's like, it took Eli Manning and bubblegum on helmets to beat me. It took me dropping a record amount of passing yards in the Super Bowl for the Eagles to win. Big Dick Nick Foles. So yeah, so that'll be 29-7. Game is over. Congratulations to the Seattle Seahawks and the left-wing fucks that live out there. Which team am I rooting for? I mean, I didn't really care. I guess just because Seattle is in Seattle and there's so many lefties up there, I was pulling for New England. But I didn't really care. I didn't have a vested interest either way. However, I will say this. Mike Vrabel as the New England Patriots head coach is it's a great fit. It is a great fit. But I think Drake May might be a little out of his element for the big moments, but we'll see. But I think that Vrabel is a great fit for New England. He really is. A lot of lefties in New England too. You are correct about that. You are absolutely correct. No doubt about that. Harley Davidson's buffer tax. How's your sister? Trans Girly says that thank God you're all. Oh God. All right. New rule. You got to send minimum 20 if I'm going to read your shit. All right. Minimum 20. Cause that's just weird. Minimum 20. And if it keeps getting weird, it's going to be minimum 50. You can send them, but I ain't reading that shit. Harley Dave says, I didn't watch. I don't care. I'll take your word for it. Well, thank you, Harley Dave. I appreciate that. Harley Dave says, to be fair, this is the first time TPUSA did this show. There's definitely room for improvement. This was their first attempt. I know. And that's the thing that is so impressive about this, that this is the first time they tried to pull this together, and it's a grand slam. Now, here's what needs to happen with the turning point. Let's get back to the turning point situation right now, because what needs to happen, actually, look at here. We have an article on geeksandgamers.com. So let's check this out. Turning Point USA All-American Halftime Show pulls at least 6 million people away from Bad Bunny Super Bowl performance. Let's freaking go. So right here, Jeremy needs a co-host. Well, funny you should say that. There's a rumor that I might be making my triumphant return to Geeks and Gamers Daily tomorrow with one Ryan Kennel. Just saying, there's a rumor that I might be joining RK Outpost for Daily tomorrow. So just tomorrow, though. It's just tomorrow. Just tomorrow, okay? But anyway, let's get to this. Turning Point USA All-American Halftime Show pulls at least 6 million people away from the Bad Bunny Super Bowl performance. Let's see. The alternative halftime show experiment launched by Turning Point USA on Super Bowl Sunday didn't just make noise. It pulled a massive audience that rivaled the cultural footprint of the official NFL production, while the NFL leaned into global controversial pop Spanish language spectacle with Bad Bunny. I couldn't believe how bad it was. I couldn't believe it. Turning Point rolled out its counter programming, the All-American Halftime Show. And look, man, the numbers are the numbers. 6 million people is crazy. And there you see it right there. So that's at one point, they had 5.1 million just on the Turning Point USA channel alone. That's not to mention Charlie Kirk's YouTube channel had over 1 million people watching. So you can put that to 6. And then you add all of the other networks that were covering it. It was a massive, massive win. Massive win for Turning Point USA. And then, of course, you had Rumble and all their fake numbers, which I tweeted out about as well. So you have Rumble out there. And I guess if you add Rumble's fake numbers to it, Rumble probably says they have like 6.17 million watching at any live moment. So yeah, 6 million people, 150 million people watch the Super Bowl, dumbass. Thank you, you fucking retard. Thank you for proving that you have no idea what I'm talking about. thank you for confirming. I said this right before we got into this topic, that retards like you are going to have that type of logic. And you can continue to have that logic all you want, but you don't understand what you're talking about. Now, I did say it in my tweet here when they had 4 million watching. I says, and this isn't even including Rumble and their fake numbers. Massive dub for Turning Point USA. And what's funny is the Rumble CEO, was real funny about this. All right. So look at here. Right here. He says, biggest live stream in America during the Super Bowl is happening on Rumble, not YouTube. So at this point in time, he didn't show the numbers. Okay. But the numbers were only like 100,000 or something like that. Okay. But yet YouTube had 5 million watching. Now, Chris comes back and says, updated numbers on Rumble now surpass 3 million views that tuned in to Turning Point's All-American Halftime Show across various channels. They just magically found, man, you guys just found as many views as Joe Biden found votes. You found as many views as Biden found votes. He's like, hey guys, we need to find about 2 million more. Stupid, man. So, but anyway, regardless how many ever, Rumble claims that they had, it was a big night for Turning Point USA, and I am very, very happy for them. As I said, Turning Point tonight, I won, and they did. Rumble can't take sides. Rumble does nothing but take sides. All Chris Pavlovsky does is cheers about Dan Bongino. That's all he fucking does. It might as well just turn his account into a Dan Bongino fan account. It's so fucking cringe. I'm so tired of hearing the Rumble CEO prop up his favorite creators. I'm so tired of that. Imagine the YouTube CEO tweeting every day about how many views Mr. Beast gets. What would be saying if we saw that? If the YouTube CEO every day is like, hey guys, Mr. Beast just got 150 million views in an hour. He's crushing it. It's like, fuck you, dude. It's unbelievable. So yeah, pisses me off. Imagine being a Dan Bongino simp. Dude, Dan Bongino's crash out has been hilarious. He's fighting with everybody. And he's it's really embarrassing to watch him do this, but whatever. Bongino is a half owner in locals. Exactly why the CEO should not be propping him up every day. Dan Bongino is going to get a lot of people watching him. Dan Bongino is a popular host. Dan Bongino has a popular show. I'm not disputing that. What I'm saying is that the CEO of an independent video hosting platform should not be tweeting out his favorite creator and propping up his favorite creator. You shouldn't be doing that. It does not. If the YouTube CEO did that shit, we'd be going off. But because we like Rumble and Chris Pavlovsky, we're like, oh, there's nothing wrong with it. It's absolutely something wrong with it. Fair is fair, and it's bullshit. Patriots just scored. Did they score? Patriots just scored. How much time is left? I don't know how much time is left. I'm watching the replay right now. Propping up the creator or the platform itself. Literally propping up Dan Bongino over and over and over. That's all they do. Is that a catch? Whoa, that's a close one. That's a close one. It looks like it made it, though. All right, so 2 minutes left. So the Patriots do have 2 timeouts and the 2-minute warning, so that's good. Did he get it? Nope, no completion. No completion. Okay. It's a catch. Okay, I'm watching on my phone, so it's really hard for me to see right now, but either way. Jeremy's jealous of Rumble. Well, I'm not jealous of Rumble, but I as I said, if Rumble's going to treat me the way they're going to treat me, I'm just going to bitch about them all the fucking time, because Rumble has shown me that they buy loyalty. And as long as they pay people, they will promote people. And so I'm like, if I'm not worth paying, I'm just going to be a fucking thorn in your side. I'm just going to bitch until it pisses you off. And then when you say, why do you complain? I'm like, if I wasn't important enough to pay, you shouldn't be worrying about me complaining about you. Fuck off. So it's simple as that. I'll just keep bitching about them, and hopefully it makes them mad. Your channel is under attack. Yes. I mean, look, let's see. Hang on. Let's go to Rumble right now. Let's go to Rumble. How's my Rumble channel do? Let's go to dashboard. Okay. There's Rumble. Total followers, 324,000. All-time views, 22 million. And I did that without having a contract. So, yeah. Didn't need Chris Pavlovsky to tweet about me every day. Didn't need them to put me on the front page every fucking day. But their website does suck. It's terrible fucking site. So, but yeah, there you go. Let's see. $2, hell yeah. All real followers. Every single one of those is a real follower, including everybody in my chat. I know they're all real, but nobody else is. Jay on the front page. Let's see. Imagine if New England didn't fumble for a scoop and score. Yeah, that would probably have been very helpful for them. I do want to talk about the update, because we got a crazy update to this this Guthrie story. I was right the whole time. I was right. Oh, Trump is doing a press gaggle right now? Hold on. White House. Come on, hurry up, hurry up. Is he? He is. Good call. Good call. All right, good call, whoever told me that. Let's fucking go. All right. We're waiting. Oh, this is going to be good. This is going to be good. So we will talk about the, is it Nancy Guthrie? Is that her name? We will talk about that story here, because it's getting worse. By getting worse, it means that I am being proven right, and I'm not the only one, but the mainstream media has been lying to you about this. The mainstream media has not been wanting to call this for what it was. From the moment that this story broke, I kept saying, this is some crazy shit. And when I was memeing on it big time, like the Breaking Bad memes and stuff like that, I was going like, dude, what? I'm in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, I'm memeing on this story pretty hard right now, but if it turns out that this is all legit, I'm going to look like an asshole. This story there is some shady stuff going on right now. Jeremy, did you see the retarded Epstein survivors ad? I saw that ad drop earlier. Like, I didn't watch it, but they actually showed it before the Super Bowl. Dan the Man over on Rumble. But my question is, for a 30-second Super Bowl ad, it cost, I think it's like $6 to $8 million for a 30-second ad. Who is funding the Epstein survivors to get a 30-second spot on the Super Bowl for $6 to $8 million? Who is funding that? Where is that coming from? And nobody's going to ask that question? Come on, man. I mean, seriously, people are seriously buying this garbage? Come on. All right, so we're going to get the 2-minute warning. Is New England going to call a timeout? Okay, New England calls a timeout. New England's going to get the ball back again, and if they can score quickly with an onside kick, things could get interesting. So, I bet that Guthrie lady isn't even in the ballroom. Hey, you know what? Now, Jessica, that thing you sent me, was that confirmed or not? Jessica, you sent me a screenshot or a tweet of a screenshot. Did we get that confirmed? Was there a community note on that? I need to know if that was confirmed, Jessica, if you're still here before I show it. Not enough time. I mean, with the 2-minute warning, oh, it's over. Wow. Oh, a flag on the play. What's the flag for? I don't know. It was from Facebook originally. Okay. So I'm going to show you. Oh, flag on the Seahawks. Whoa. Damn. Okay. So we're waiting for this to start. I got the audio turned up. So I can't confirm if this is real or not. So take this with a grain of salt. This could be fake, but it could be fake. There's no community note on it. And it was posted at 10 o'clock this morning, and there's no community note. So apparently, this is the mother of Savannah Guthrie. And we will talk about this more after the press gaggle. But apparently, this is the mother of Savannah Guthrie in 2020. And it says, I am so looking forward to seeing the Trump family in jail. So we will talk more about that a little bit later. Dun, dun, dun. Yep. Now we already know that her daughter has TDS. We already know her daughter has TDS, big time. So, yeah, Jess says, I mean, it's how her daughter is. Would not be surprised. Very true. Very true. Now, again, don't know if that is 100% confirmed, but no community note after whatever 12 hours of being posted. So very interesting. All right. Harley Dave says, to be fair, this was oh yeah, I got that one earlier. Thank you, Harley, for that one. Whiskey Niner says, biggest win with TPUSA event is they all sang in English. Big time. Big time. Marmillan says, can you take me higher, Tax? Let's freaking go. Ministry of Wrong Things says, that's why TPUSA has been under attack. Their influence, which is more likely. Candace is leading a propaganda campaign to take down the right. Or Charlie Kirk was a time traveler. Angel killed by Erica. Yeah, I mean, look, Turning Point is in a position to have a significant impact on culture if they do the right things. And so I think that I don't think you can hold them truly accountable, especially Erica. I do believe she's made some mistakes. Absolutely. And it is what it is. You know, she's been put in an impossible position. So I don't think you can truly hold her. I don't like Erica Kirk necessarily. But I think that she's in an impossible position, and I think she's done the best she can, even if she's made mistakes. But this tonight was a huge, huge win for her and for Turning Point. And if they can build upon this and do things the right way from a cultural standpoint, they can make a difference. They can absolutely make a difference. So, but yeah, I mean, the obsession over her and how she's been going about it online has been pretty crazy. Everything under a microscope. It's a tough position for sure. Raptor Hammer says, you're way off. JD advanced on repeat for halftime show. I like your thinking. Absolutely. Marmillan says, we'll find out before most of G&G know about it, just like locals. Jeremy, if anything, is a fantastic communicator to his audience. Team, business partners, we've seen it. Yes, this is true. I communicate better with my audience than I do my own damn team. Half the time my team finds out what's going on at G&G when you all find out, and then they're like, what the hell are you talking about? When did this happen? I was like, right now, I'm telling everybody. All right, is that did Seattle, what was that, a field goal or a punt? I can't tell. I just see him. EHEP says, did you see the Somalia got voter ID? Somalia got voter ID? Harley Day says, you will have to start a new company just to own the convention idea, which is totally doable. Yeah, but like I said, it's you know, there's a lot of people that have, nobody in our space is trying to do what we're attempting to do, but there are people that have done this idea in different areas. I will give you guys more details very soon. I don't know if we're going to do it. I would like to get community feedback on it. Let's see. I feel like people on my crew, especially like some of my top level people, I feel like sometimes they watch me and they're like, they kind of watch me like Trump's team watches him and it's like, okay, I hope he doesn't say too much. Fuck, please don't say too much. Oh, fuck, he said too much. Damn it. Doug B199 says, we'll hear more about this possible event on the wrestling stream. That's a good one. That's a good one. Rantopia for 10 says, hail all. Jeremy, I'm really surprised you've not watched the Trump AI spoof of a flock of seagulls video. I ran so far away. I have that one bookmarked. I'm getting hit on quite a few of these, like the Backstreet Boy spoof with the voter ID. They're hitting me on that. Like I'm getting hit with that. I was like, what the hell, man? Graham Robbins says, remember, Jeremy, not all of us up here in Seattle are left-wing nut jobs. That, sir, I do know. I do know that. Harley Day for 20 says, wow, you didn't even want to answer Lane. I don't know what this is about. Was this about the sister question? Ben's sister's the one you need to worry about. MAGA Mike says Kid Rock's halftime show was better and it's pissing a lot of people off. The Paige Shields and comedians like Andrew Schultz are out praising Bad Bunny to push the anti-narrative. It's pathetic. Yeah, I mean, I mean no disrespect to Kid Rock, but it was a very low bar to be better than Bad Bunny. And he was. The entire TPUSA event was better. Not a very high bar. All you needed to really do is speak English. So Harley Dave says that Jeremy is not worth paying. Let's see. And then Harley Dave says Jeremy is an amazing communicator. Isn't that nice? MAGA Mike says, by the way, I've seen multiple comedians attack MAGA today. Tim Dillon attacked Trump. Sam Tripoli attacked Quartering. Mark Normand attacked Erica Kirk. Then Andrew Schultz shills for Bad Bunny. Well, I do want to talk about the Tim Dillon thing. I have always hated Tim Dillon. I have always hated that fat fuck. And so I never understood why Tim Dillon was famous. However, I'm going to have to call out MAGA on a lot of this shit. Okay? We're waiting for this audio to happen. I don't know what's going on. So we're waiting. I don't know what the holdup is here. So I don't know if they've started another stream or what. So I'm still waiting. But let's talk about, while we're waiting for this, let me pull this Tim Dillon thing up. Because Tim Dillon is you want to call him a comedian, I guess you can go ahead and do that. But I got to call MAGA out, and I don't mean the MAGA audience, by the way. I'm talking about Trump. I'm talking about JD Vance. That's exactly who I'm calling out. But here's Tim Dillon, who's a literal piece of fat shit. Okay, so here's Tim Dillon right here. Listen.
She has one thing left to do, and it's destroy Trump, because I don't know what Trump was a part of, but he's probably fucked some underage people, I would imagine, and God only knows what else. He's been accused of horrible things in these files. Now Trump's saying he likes Bill Clinton. Play this, because Trump knows. Here's what Trump knows. Trump didn't fear Hillary when she had something to lose. Do you understand? When Hillary needed the dark overlords, when she needed them, he didn't fear her. Now that she doesn't need them and she's about to slip her skin suit.
By the way, congrats to the Seahawks. Game is over, 29-13 final. Seahawks have defeated the Patriots.
And go back to her home planet. He knows that she will go in front of Congress. There she is with her husband, Bill, and they're going to light this shit on fire. They're going to talk about Trump. They're going to talk about everything. Let's play the video where Trump is talking about liking Bill Clinton.
But it bothers me that somebody's going after Bill Clinton. See, I like Bill Clinton.
Oh.
I still like Bill.
What do you like about him?
I liked his behavior toward me. I thought he got me. He understood me.
He's guilty. It's guilt. This is guilt. This is guilt.
These people are so fucking stupid, okay? So some people are too dumb to understand how, leaders lead and people that are playing on the next level play. Now, I'm going to do something that half the chat's going to hate. Whatever. I'm an Alabama football fan. Roll Tide. Nick Saban, greatest college football coach of all time, okay? When Alabama was only winning or down by a few points, Nick Saban would shift his coaching ability based on the moment. So if the game was close, Nick Saban would be coaching up the players in those crucial moments. When Alabama was up by 45, Nick Saban was cussing out players like their life depended on it. And players are sitting there going, why is this dude cussing me out? We're up by 45. And Saban is cussing players out. But when the game is close, Nick Saban is, hey guys, we're good. Coaching people up, okay? Trump is playing a different game, all right? He's in the power position right now. Him being nice to Bill Clinton and all of these evil people while they're trying to get them to, sit there in front of Congress or whatever, Trump's just playing things up. Trump has said horrible shit about Bill Clinton. When the campaign was going on, he said, Bill Clinton's going to have a lot of trouble on the island. Like, you guys are like, anybody that doesn't understand how this shit works, you are a fucking child that has been raised by TikTok. Simple as that, okay? You don't understand nuance. You don't understand anything other than I need immediate results delivered to me right now. Trump is playing on a different level, and you're too stupid to realize it. Now, let's get back to my problem with Trump and JD Vance. Trump and JD Vance. JD Vance has done multiple episodes in person with this fat fuck. JD Vance doesn't do interviews with everybody, but he certainly did in-person interviews with this fat fucker right here, elevating this fat piece of shit's platform, getting him in good with the MAGA audience just for him to shit all over the MAGA audience. Donald Trump sat down with Andrew Schultz, went into his studio, sat down with Andrew Schultz so Andrew Schultz could warm up to the MAGA audience just so he could shit all over MAGA to that same audience. Stop giving these clowns any oxygen. Give the right people oxygen. Don't give these clowns that. It's bullshit. You're the president of the United States. You're the vice president of the United States. Why are you sitting down with these pieces of shit? Same with Theo Vaughn. I like Theo Vaughn. Theo Vaughn is a weak loser who got offended because his likeness was in a meme video talking about illegal immigration. Hey, Theo, why are you so scared of illegal immigrants? It's almost like they're violent. It's almost like you don't want to be caught up with violent criminals. But he's like, oh, I love everybody, man. I love everybody. And I don't want to be caught up. I love everybody. No, you don't. You're scared as fuck of these illegal motherfuckers who are committing crimes, and you don't want to be targeted by them. Simple as that. You're not scared of MAGA. You're not scared of MAGA, are you, Theo Vaughn? Because MAGA's not full of a bunch of fucking criminals threatening people. So, yeah, that's my problem with somebody like Tim Dillon and Andrew Schultz and all these other people. Why are you talking to these guys? They don't like you. They don't like you, Trump. They hate your fucking guts. They hate you, but they want your clout, and they want the visibility that comes with it. And they got it. It helped them. And now they're turning on Trump. Tim Dillon has leaked private conversations about him and JD Vance before. Here, let me see if I can find it. I keep wanting to say advanced. I'm waiting for that gaggle to start, and nothing is happening right now. So let's see. I'm trying to see where Tim Dillon said that JD Vance said something to him. Right here. So in July, Tim had a private dinner with JD Vance, who assured him that the Epstein files did not implicate Trump. That's what he said. He did say that JD Vance told him this in a private fucking dinner. And then Tim went to his podcast and repeated that. So you leaked a private conversation that you had with the vice president of the United States. You were privileged enough to have a private dinner with the vice president. You went on your podcast and leaked that conversation. That conversation that you leaked completely contradicts the narrative that you're pushing now. And I have to ask myself, why are JD Vance and Donald Trump talking to these pieces of shit? Why? I don't know. I don't have an answer for it, but they're pieces of shit. You know who's not a piece of shit? Proper 199 from a POG. I'm not even going to try to say the rest of it. I always fuck it up. A proper 199 and says nothing. Do you know what he did say? We need Sydney Sweeney in the house. We always like when Sydney Sweeney shows up. There we have it right there. Boom. Isn't that a beautiful sight? Isn't it? You know what? We haven't dropped this one in a while.
Should I do it?
Do not come.
Come on, baby. Come on. I'm gonna do it.
Do not come.
I'm gonna come.
Beautiful white paint. It's coming down at 10,000 miles an hour. It's coming down at levels of speed that nobody ever even conceived of. Where it's rough, but it's coming, and now it's turned around. It turns around, and it's coming, and it's gonna. I said, oh, because you see at that bottom, this section right here, that sucker's. Oh.
There we go. The return of the Trump meme. Thank you for the proper 199. Dude, check this out right here. I just saw this. Google searches for ICE tip line surged during Latinx superstar Bad Bunny's Super Bowl halftime performance. Yes. Hey, ICE, I see a bunch of illegals in America. Go arrest them right now. Oh my God, that's great. That's got to be the greatest thing ever. Oh my God, man. It was really bad. It was, oh no, 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 no. I'm not, listen, because I love my audience, I am not going to show you what I'm seeing right now on Twitter. I'm pausing this because I don't want to see it replayed. Dom Luker. Okay. I'm going to pause the video. I'm not going to show you it. I'm not showing you. I'm just pausing the video before the thing that takes place. But Dom Luker, you can go follow Dom if you want. Dom posts a lot of crazy shit, man. Dom's funny as shit. Breaking, two zesty men were spotted grinding each other during the Bad Bunny concert at the Super Bowl. This is before it happens. This guy crawls over. It's bad. That's what the NFL is all about right there. That's what the NFL is all about. Holy shit. What a disaster. What an absolute disaster. Oh my God, man. The NFL should be absolutely ashamed of themselves. They should be ashamed. Bro, Marvin just sent this to me. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready? Are you really ready to be excited? Are you happy? Here we go. TMZ, who had the better halftime show? Bad Bunny or Kid Rock? 50,000 votes. Kid Rock winning 83% to 17 now. 82.6 to 17%. You know what? I'm retweeting it. Boom. There it is. Oh my goodness. That is fan-freaking-tastic. Some people hit me up about this. So I'm still in the process. I do not understand how this platform works, but I'm trying to find it out. I don't even fucking how to look this shit up. Hang on. I started a Cobra Cast subreddit. It is only, I've got it private right now, but I think it's a good place that for those of you that use, I do not know anything about Reddit, but I know a lot of people do like to use it. So I started a Cobra Cast subreddit. It's private, so it's not going to be like you have to request to join. I'm not just letting anybody join. But if you want to post stuff for me to react to there, I am I'm the only person in there right now. I don't know anything about Reddit, so I'm still working through it to understand this shit. But I've had there's a fan run Geeks and Gamers account that's got like thousands of followers over there. I have never gotten on Reddit and done anything, but I know Asmongold uses it a lot, and a lot of people have asked me like, hey, do you have one? Instead of because with the fan run Geeks and Gamers one, like we had some like stuff happened, but so anyway, if you're on this platform, if you want to be part of that, I'm just trying it out because so many people have asked me about it. So Jeremy, I thought that's what Discord was. I don't use Discord as much as I should. People are loving Discord, but I'm just trying to diversify the places you guys can send shit to me because I haven't been spending that much time on Twitter lately. Even though I'm on Twitter and you can get me on Twitter, but Twitter's new messaging system is straight garbage. I have not liked Twitter's updated messaging system. My notifications are fucked. I hate it. I hate X chat or whatever the fuck it's called. But I really don't like Twitter's new messaging system. It's dog shit. Jessica says, I hate the new DMs. They're so bad. It's so fucking bad. But if you're not on there, I've already got people requesting. So there we go. So yeah, I mean, people use it. Listen, again, this is where people get caught up in their shit. Reddit is one of the 10 biggest 10 biggest websites on the internet. It just is. More people are on Reddit than Twitter. So I don't know what it works. May get banned. I don't know. We'll see. Graham Robbins says, Jeremy, FYI, it's like the 4th of July here in Seattle. Go Hawks. Hey, congratulations to the Seahawks fans that are out there. I hope you guys enjoy it. I am not a Seahawks fan, but, appreciate it. Other than YouTube, I'm off social media, says Bull Bear. Honestly, not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. I guess just like the algorithm changes on Twitter have I don't like the new algorithm changes. It seems like the more Elon tries to fix Twitter, the worse it gets. The more that he tries to course correct, it just seems like there's people that are working against him. Twitter has been bad lately. It really has. So, Barry says I'm only on YouTube. I will say, like, for all of the criticisms against YouTube, if you take a step back, YouTube is by far the best social media platform. It's not even close. Not even close. If you compare it to every other platform, YouTube is the best social media platform. End of discussion. And it's not even an argument. Doesn't mean it's great. Doesn't mean it's perfect, because it's certainly not, but it's like Twitter, like free speech platform Twitter. Yeah, go ahead and try that one out. See if it's really free speech, because it's not. Rumble I think Rumble is closer to free speech than any major platform. I still don't think that Rumble is truly free speech, guys. I don't think there's such thing as that on the internet. But I think Rumble, of all of the major platforms, I think Rumble's the closest to free speech, for sure. Because Twitter is not the free speech platform that, that they advertise it to be. And to be fair, you can't advertise true free speech. I do not know how to find channels on Reddit. Can we get a link? Yeah, I can give you a link. Hang on. I think. Here we go. I think this is how you link it. Copy. I'm such a fucking boomer when it comes to Reddit. And mods, you can make sure that link works. But I'll have to accept you because I do not have it available for public. So just keep that in mind. I have no mods in there or nothing. So I'll let you know how that all goes. John freaking Murdoch is here. Says, yeah, I'm not interested in the Super Bowl, but my wife is a consummate Pats fan, and I'm hoping against hope. John freaking Murdoch here on a Sunday. That's a rarity right there. Hey, just let's see. Ron says, hey, just said over 20 million viewers for TPS USA halftime show on social media. 20 million? Hang on. TP USA said that? Let's see here. And again, we still don't have this audio picking up, so I don't know what's going on with that. Turning Point USA. Okay, Eric says that the link is yes, but I do not have Reddit. And again, I don't want anybody to get a Reddit just to be part of this. I'm just saying for the people that are already on Reddit. That's all. If Discord's your preferred place, stay on Discord. If Twitter is, go to Twitter. You don't have to make a fucking Reddit account on my behalf. Fuck Reddit, as far as I'm concerned. Let's see. I don't see. Where are you seeing 20 million? I'm not seeing 20 million. I'm looking. Turning Point's actual account didn't have it. So, Paul says, I refuse to use Reddit. I respect it. Again, I'm not here to tell you to be on Reddit. This is just for the people that have reached out and said they wanted it. It does work, by the way, the link. Okay, cool. God, all right. I'm still looking, but I don't see any. Regardless, I don't care like what the final number is for Turning Point. The overall optics is that Turning Point won. big time. Like, let's go to TPUSA. TPUSA. Let's go to their account. Now, what it might be is 20 million. Okay, I see what you were saying. So you're probably saying like overall views. So you go to TPUSA, overall views, they're well over 15 million, by the way. So the real-time view or the actual public views are 15 million. I would guarantee you that they are well over 15 million just on this channel alone, because what happens on YouTube is when you have a video that's tracking at a higher rate than your normal videos, the real-time views actually show higher on the back end of YouTube than the public views. So I would imagine that's probably over 20 million in real time. Maybe. I've never had a video get that many views, so I don't know. But it's definitely more. How much more is the question? I have no idea. But that's a massive win right there. Because I mean, again, you got to do the math here. Okay. So if you had, so it was an hour and 16 minutes long show. The show itself was probably only about 20 minutes, but if you had a peak of 5 million people at the peak and you had people tuning in constantly, this thing's going to have a lot of views, a whole lot. And congratulations to them. Big congrats. So the White House is still live. 38 minutes ago, there's 500 people waiting or watching, but we have nothing yet. So, let's see here. Yeah, look at that. That is insane, man. 5.1 million people watching at the peak. Jennifer for 20 says, I can't listen because I'm at the Super Bowl party, but I want to show my support for the USA and Trump. I'm with a bunch of liberals who are complaining about him and I can't open my mouth. We'll listen on the replay. Just send them a link to CobraCast. They'll love it. Thank you, Jennifer. Be safe out there. Be safe. 5.1, 5.3 at one point, and Charlie Kirk's YouTube channel at the same time had over 1 million people watching. So it was absolutely incredible. It really was. Man, great night for them. And I hope, like right here, let's listen to what Kid Rock has to say.
There's a book that's sitting in your house somewhere that could use some dusting off. There's a man who died for all our sins, hanging from the cross. You can give your life to Jesus, and He'll give you a second chance till you can't take it.
That's awesome right there. That is awesome, man. I'll be honest. When I saw a picture of Kid Rock yesterday with Benny Johnson, I did not recognize Kid Rock. It's like, holy crap. If you didn't listen to Kid Rock back in the day, I would encourage you to look up the song Lonely Road of Faith. That's my favorite Kid Rock song. Lonely Road of Faith. They used to play it during the WWF, like when they did the Creed, My Sacrifice, and when they would do Lonely Road of Faith with like Stone Cold and Undertaker, whoever it was. Such a great song. Absolutely. Let's see. OOO says, can we admit that both halftime shows sucked? I mean, everything is, you got to have perspective on stuff, man. Like, I like to judge things in the most objective way I possibly can. And there's no rhyme or reason to that. Everybody has their own degree or whatever, but for what Turning Point USA was out to accomplish tonight, I don't think that there's any way you can't call this a massive, massive success for them. Now, subjectively, maybe you didn't like the content, maybe you didn't like the music, but objectively, they knocked a grand slam tonight. Now, how they build upon that will be interesting, but it was a success. absolute success. Now, as I said in the beginning of the show, and I mean this with all due respect, but if we're going to be successful from a cultural standpoint, if that's the goal, is to have a cultural impact moving forward, Kid Rock cannot be the headliner moving forward. Like it just, he can't. Kid Rock cannot be the headliner. If Kid Rock is the headliner for the conservative MAGA movement moving forward, we've peaked right now. This is the peak. And so that's it. And that's what MAGA has to understand, is that we have to reach beyond where we are in order to be successful. So we'll see. Strongly disagree. I mean, I don't know how you strongly disagree with that. I like Kid Rock. I have nothing against Kid Rock, but he's not going to change culture. He just isn't. Sadly, I wish he could, but you got to understand. Let's see, Kid Rock. Devil Without a Cause. And this is, a lot of people don't know this, but like Kid Rock's album, Devil Without a Cause, was one of the best selling albums. It was crazy. So like right here. So Kid Rock's 1998 breakout album, Devil Without a Cause, has sold over 11 to 14 million copies worldwide. It was insanely successful. Like that was a massive success. No doubt about it. And you know, like Only God Knows Why, Cowboy, all those, like that was his peak. He did peak, but he peaked in the 90s. So it's like I'm just being real here, okay? The left is not carried by Eminem in 2026. For a reason. Eminem is relevant. I don't like Eminem. I think he's a bitch, but it's not like he's not relevant. Eminem is incredibly relevant and incredibly talented, but he's not Eminem from the 90s or the 2000s. There's a reason that the left has a lot of people that they build culture around, and it ain't Eminem. Kid Rock peaked in the 90s and the 2000s, and MAGA's got to find somebody else to be their headliner. He's not old school Eminem, dude. I mean, Eminem is probably the most pathetic person, and that it's probably one of the worst fall offs. Now, the reason I would say it's up there, because I mean, if you want to go like fall off, like Howard Stern is probably the biggest fall off. But dude, like I never cared for Howard Stern. I was never a Howard Stern guy. Like I actually liked Eminem a lot back in the day. So the fact that he went from where he was and how he was, like he was a cultural phenomenon. All right. For Eminem to go from what he was to this is incredible.
Talking about Trump, I get too flustered in my head, and the shit that I want to say, there's too many things I want to say at once. So sometimes I start talking and I'm not able to convey the message the right way because I just get flustered and frustrated. Watching him play to his base that thinks that he cares about them, and it's actually the people that he cares about the fucking least. If you're talking about his core being, a majority white middle class, what I don't understand is how in the fuck do you feel like you relate to a billionaire who has never known struggle his entire fucking life? I will say this, he talks a good one. And if you're in his base, you're a core, let's say you're going to the rallies or whatever, you watch him on TV, you hear him talking this shit, there's part of me that understands like, all right, he's somehow still got them because He's brainwashing them into thinking that something great is going to happen. Nothing's happening. Nothing is happening. I don't know, man. I get really flustered when I talk about it.
I get really flustered when I talk about it. Now, I will give credit where credit is due, okay? And I always do. Eminem is arguably the greatest rapper of all time. All right? And Eminem has never been defeated in rap. He hasn't. But there is one person that did defeat Eminem. There's one person that has defeated Eminem. Do you know who that person is that defeated Eminem? Matter of fact, let me just show you who defeated him. Give me just a second and I can show you. There's one person, and not only did he defeat Eminem, he ended Eminem's career, is what he did. Now, I'll give you a little sample of who this guy is in just a minute. I got to find it. And maybe you've heard this song before, maybe you haven't, but this is the guy that defeated Eminem right here.
First off, fuck your bitch in the click you claim. West side, when we ride, come equipped with game. You claim to be a player, but I fucked your wife. We bust on bad boys, niggas fuck for life.
All right, so that would be the man that defeated Eminem, Donald J. Trump. This is what Eminem said about Trump after Eminem made a diss track on Donald Trump. When Eminem made this diss track, he called Trump out. I think it was at the BET Awards. This is BET.com. Trump ignored Eminem. Trump ignored him completely. And because Trump didn't respond to Eminem, Eminem says he's extremely angry because Trump has not responded. He's mad that Trump did not respond. Eminem went from this guy that crushed everybody in his path to a guy crying because Donald Trump didn't respond. Do you want to know why Donald Trump didn't respond, Eminem? Because Donald Trump is on a different level than you. He's on a different level than you will ever be. He's better than you. He's smarter than you. He's more talented than you. He's more famous than you. He's a better rapper than you. He's a better everything than you. And you are nothing but his stan. That's right. Eminem has become Donald Trump's stan. He's writing letters about Donald Trump, to Donald Trump. Hey, Don, can we just hang out? Can we just, hey, man, I'm just waiting for you outside of this show, Don. Yeah, you are Stan now. Trump has defeated you so badly that you have turned in to Stan. Congratulations, 47, 45, and 47. But yeah, so the fall for Eminem is pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. All right. Now, I do want to talk about, so I don't know. I guess the White House just is not going to go live. If guys, keep me updated if that does happen in the chat or whatever. I don't know. I don't see any motion on that. So right here. So this Nancy Guthrie story has kind of gone crazy. So the backstory is Nancy Guthrie is the mother of Savannah Guthrie from NBC News Today show. Savannah Guthrie famously questioned President Trump back in 2020 about QAnon, and she got mad when Donald Trump would not denounce QAnon and pedophilia. So that's why this was on my radar, because I remembered that. So her 80-something-year-old mother went missing over a week ago. Now, when I first reported on this story, I was calling out a lot of stuff about it because I'm like, a lot of this is not adding up. None of this is making sense. This story seems pretty obviously, it seems that there's a lot of covering up going on. President Trump became aware of the story. He put the federal government fully involved in the story. He called Savannah Guthrie, and there's been a lot of problems from the get-go. The way that the local police department has handled this situation has been, they've been clueless, and that's being nice about it. It's been horrible. And from the get-go, it's just been problem after problem after problem. The FBI shows up at the house 5 days later to do things that they should have done initially. Savannah Guthrie and her family kept releasing these weird, almost hostage-style videos that everyone was calling out, going, this seems this seems like there's a script and there's an acting job going on, and it seems like there's a cover-up. And there was apparently a ransom note that was sent to TMZ. Shockingly enough, TMZ was also caught up in the Epstein files, and TMZ magically got this ransom note out of nowhere. So apparently there was a ransom note saying that they were holding the mother, and there was rumored that there was like asking for millions of dollars in Bitcoin. The whole story has just been fucking crazy. It's been a disaster. The videos in question have been weird. The updates have been weird. And then the sheriff that has kind of been at the forefront of this in Arizona magically was at a fucking basketball game yesterday in the middle of the investigation. So you got all of this stuff going on. You got a hostage situation going on. You've got President Trump, the FBI, the federal government involved. You've got a microscope on the whole entire fucking situation here. You've got the local police department has made mistake after mistake after mistake. You've got weird videos dropping. You've got potentially an 80-something-year-old woman who uses medication who is not accounted for. You have no suspects. You have no person of interest. You have no clues. And the fucking sheriff was at a fucking basketball game at the height of all of this shit.
Water after being seen in the stands of a college basketball game yesterday while the investigation is still ongoing. Chanley Painter is here with the very latest details. Good morning, Chanley.
Hey, good morning, Griff. So Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos, who we have been seeing lead those press conferences in the abduction of Nancy Guthrie, is now under scrutiny after being spotted at a college basketball game last night, nearly a week into the search for the 84-year-old mother and grandmother. You can see him here near the front row.
He's allowed to go to the game? Fuck off. He's an elected official. He's an elected official, and you got the biggest case of your life? Fuck this guy. This motherfucker ain't going to no basketball game. If I'm supposed to believe there's a missing person and you got every fucking agency involved, you've got problem after problem. It's not like the local place has done their job. They have been a complete disaster. And this guy's just going to games? This is a politician.
The matchup between the University of Arizona and Oklahoma State, where only a few minutes after the game ended, Savannah Guthrie and her siblings shared a third video message pleading.
Grant says, wow, you are unhinged. Grant, go watch Tim fucking Pool. You're not built for this fucking shit, okay? We deal with sarcasm and shit talking, all right? We give real opinions, not manufactured bullshit. Go watch Beanie Boy or some other fucking person that's going to give you the standard fucking opinion you need, all right? Weak bitches ain't allowed around here. I'm not here to tell you what you want to hear. I'm here to tell you what I think. And if you disagree, you can disagree, but I am not here to worry about your sensitive, male feminist feelings. I'm not here for that.
With the possible
if we were on Rumble, I would call you the F slur over and over again.
To return their mother. The person who took this video of the sheriff at the basketball game told Fox News Digital this, quote, "This whole thing being so fresh and nationwide, maybe worldwide, I don't think it was a good good look for him to do it. He's a major part of the investigation, so it didn't look good to me. Very sad to see him at the Arizona basketball game. The sheriff has come under fire in recent days for his handling of the investigation, including releasing Guthrie's home as a crime scene too soon. And of course, this all comes as a reported second ransom deadline for tomorrow is set for 5 p.m. local time, and that's quickly approaching, Griff.
Yeah, not a good look indeed. Chinley Painter, thank you very much.
And officials are still racing to find Nancy Guthrie before it's too late.
The 84-year-old has been.
Spoilers, it's too late. I mean, it just is. It's too late. I mean, this woman's like 80-something years old. She's been missing for 8 days. It's too late. Now, I showed this earlier. I don't know if this is true, but this is Nancy Guthrie in 2020, reportedly. And she says, I'm so looking forward to seeing the Trump family in jail. That's interesting. Okay. That's interesting. It's an interesting scenario that you have presented there. Now, President Trump, being the amazing leader that he is, has done everything he can to assist your family in finding you, even though you wanted him in jail. Jeremy would have 8 million live viewers on Rumble with their inflated numbers. Probably. Now, what's interesting here, okay, because there is so much more to this story. All right, there's so much more. And it's crazy, okay? So with all of this going on, the sheriff going to basketball games, there's problems here, there's problems there. And guess what? Now they're back at her house checking a manhole.
The aforementioned senior correspondent Alicia Acuna outside the home there. Alicia, we're watching these pictures from the Fox flight team. Clearly, there is something happening over there. We don't know exactly the nature of it. What can you tell us from your vantage point?
Hi, Kevin. I can set the scene here for you. About an hour and a half ago, we had a sheriff's deputy come up, park in front of the home. That caught everyone's attention. Now, not too long ago, within the last 20 minutes or so, we saw an unmarked vehicle with law enforcement drive up. The two spoke, they got back in their cars, and then we saw yet a third member of law enforcement walk up. 3 people walked to the back, 2 to 3 people walked to the back, and you can see them now. And they are what our drone team is describing to us. The Fox flight team is describing this as possibly a manhole. I heard Jonathan say that it could be some sort of water drainage. Either one of those is possible. We're not quite sure. But they've been poking around in there, almost like they're looking for a sample of some sort. Looking into this area. We've been kept back just a bit, actually. Usually when they have some sort of activity here at the site of Nancy Guthrie's home, we're often pushed back. The media is pushed back so they can do their job. Clearly, they're not concerned about that right now because we've all been allowed to stay as law enforcement continues its work to the back.
Now, what's interesting about this whole thing, too, is Savannah Guthrie and her family have released yet another video. Okay? But before we show you that video, I do think that it's important to give further context for those that missed it. Okay? And the reason this is important is because this is on my D-Day Cobra 2 channel, but a video before the one I'm going to show you now, another video, Savannah Guthrie was repeating lines from Silence of the Lambs. What? What?
It's full of kindness and knowledge. Talk to her and you'll see.
Catherine is very gentle and kind. Talk to her and you'll see.
Bro, this is crazy. All right. Now, by the way, for the record, Silence of the Lambs is like truly like one of the greatest movies ever made. But this talk to her and you'll see. Wild. Okay. So now Savannah Guthrie and her family have dropped yet another video. And this video is even weirder than the last video. So this is like the third or fourth fucking video that her and her family have released. This video is the weirdest one yet. It's vague and it is weird. Listen to this shit right here.
From Arizona this morning, Jonathan Vigliotti has the latest on the troubling disappearance of the mother of Today Show host Savannah Guthrie as the mystery begins a second week.
Savannah Guthrie and her siblings took to Instagram for a third time yesterday to speak directly to her mother's suspected kidnapper.
We received your message and we understand. We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace. This is very valuable to us and we will pay.
The plea from the
Am I lagging again? There's no way I'm lagging. There's no way. I've got an excellent connection. Am I lagging? Let me know. Okay. No lag. Okay. No lag. A little. Okay, we're fine. All right. So let's back this up one more time so you can hear this for anybody that I was lagging for. Here we go.
And we understand your
kidnapper.
We received your message and we understand. We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace. This is very valuable to us and we will pay.
The plea from the
What? It's so vague. It's so weird. Now, on top of that, thanks to the internet has pointed out that Savannah Guthrie, who's the woman in the middle, has 6 fingers. She has 6 fingers. I looked at this and I was like, hold on just a minute. Something's up. It's got to be like her sister's hand is like, I can't. She's got 6 fingers. Look, like right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What? What is happening right now? So a lot of people thinking this is AI. People are thinking this was made by AI because she has 6 fingers. So it's like, is this even real? This is the craziest shit ever. This is wild. Now, I was of the mindset that maybe there was a Salamanca brother involved or a cousin. Maybe that they had a family member who ran a chicken restaurant chain. Maybe there was a former cop in Philadelphia that was working for the chicken man's, company running security for him. Maybe there was a chemistry teacher that was, suffering from cancer. And no, we're beyond that shit now, dude. We're in next level zone now. This shit is wild. This is crazy. So I don't know what to make of this. Now, I did see that now we've reached a point where now the police don't even want to make statements on this, okay? The police are not even talking about it anymore. So right here, look at this.
Ritter, also in Tucson. He is a criminal defense attorney and a Fox News contributor. Josh, it's a strange one. Let's start with that.
See, now we went from the news, you mean like, this is horrible. We are so concerned. Even the news is now going, this is some strange shit going on here, guys. We just got to admit, this is kind of weird.
It's a strange one. Let's start with that. All of a sudden, the sheriff's authorities are back there in force today, as they were yesterday. But it almost seems like, they are going over ground that should have been gone over days ago.
No, you're absolutely right. It's like we have a flurry of activity followed by silence and seemingly no new updates, and then another flurry of activity, but none of it seems to be leading towards any kind of end. And you're right, they are kind of going over the same territory again. Now, it sounds like they're retrieving new evidence, so that's hopeful that that might be moving the investigation forward. But given what we heard just in the last 24 hours or so, the idea that there was new contact from the potential kidnappers, that the Guthries did respond to that with their own message, and that Instagram post that we've all seen now, even the president's own comments gave this kind of an anticipation and an energy in the air, which seems to have fallen off now that we haven't heard anything, and there doesn't seem to be any new developments coming from the investigation.
I would caution our viewers, and I need to caution myself, that if you remember back a couple of years ago, the Idaho college murders seemed to have no suspects, nothing, for a good month. And then all of a sudden, Brian Koberger was arrested. There could be a lot going on behind.
I personally think that somebody in the family is going to be arrested for this. I don't think there's a kidnapper. I don't think there's a kidnapper at all. I think the kidnapper is a diversion. And I think the kidnapping story, now again, I'm just giving you my theory based on the crazy shit that we have seen. I have no inside information. I have no knowledge. I am just watching the news and the clips just like every fucking body else. Okay. So I just want to be clear about that. Because this whole thing has been one of the craziest stories ever. So I just need to be clear. But even like just every single piece of information that we are getting about this, it just comes off as wrong. None of this has been done the right way. None of this feels organic, and none of this feels real. So, I mean, like, I saw this one, and this is right in line with what my theory is. I hate to say it, but it certainly looks like Nancy Guthrie never made it out of Annie's house alive. The kidnapping was a cover-up. That's what it seems like. It seems like maybe there was an incident and maybe they panicked and maybe they decided to throw out this thing. And I also said this when I first started talking about it, that I don't believe that they ever felt that this would reach a national level. But Donald Trump got involved. And the moment that Donald Trump got involved, it sent this thing astronomical. Now, on one hand, and I know there's some hardcore Trump fans that'll go, Trump was part of the plan. Like, he knew what he was doing. He knew there was a cover up. So he decided to put all this attention on it. I don't think so. I don't think so at all. I think Trump was virtue signaling to try to do something very nice for someone that's been critical of him because he's in a position to do it. I think Trump was absolutely virtue signaling just to help out. Your 80-something-year-old mom gets kidnapped or goes missing. You got this woman who works for a mainstream network that Trump has a history with, and Trump is just like, I just want to do something nice. And guess what? It's all backfired on them at this point in time, because it seems like that there's a cover-up going on. It does.
Behind the scenes here that we just don't know about.
No, you're absolutely right. And that is kind of the nature of investigations, especially with the FBI getting far more involved there. Notorious for being tight-lipped about where their progress is on a case. And there's a reason behind that. They don't want the criminals finding out what they're up to and what leads might be and how close they might be, just given news coverage. So you're absolutely right. It could be that any moment now we get a huge development, but it does seem that when you're trying to take the temperature of the current investigation.
Somebody said, what about the blood pacemaker? Pacemaker is easy to explain. That the disconnecting of the pacemaker is not necessarily tied to anything outside of connected to whatever device it was connected to. The blood, easy. Mike, just look up Mike on Breaking Bad. Easy to plant evidence, okay? Now, Mike was next level, but I'm just saying they could have easily planted the blood. Maybe I've watched too much Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, but a lot of this shit seems pretty easy to the if you're initiated like me, a Breaking Bad expert. But we'll see. But like again, there's just so many reasons, like that blood that they found. Like I don't recall them ever saying, and we're only going on the information that we have because I don't know. They're not releasing a lot of information, but it's not like there was any footsteps or footprints with the blood or anything like that.
Investigation, it may have reached yet another standstill.
Janine Pirro, now the U.S. Attorney for Washington, D.C., was on Fox and Friends this morning talking a little bit about the investigation. Let's listen.
We're still going back to where we started. They're going back to the roof. They're going back to the daughter's house. We don't know a lot. They're keeping a lot close to the vest. Who took her home? We don't know. Who was at dinner that night? Were there other people at dinner? Were there any kind of conversations that we may not know about? They know about it. We don't know about it. I really believe there's a backdoor communication going on here that we don't know about.
The they she's referring to are the investigators, the police, and the sheriff's office, obviously. It is possible that they know an awful lot that they're just not sharing.
Absolutely. And what's strange, too, is initially, you remember...
Now, again, this is only a theory of mine, and so take it with a massive grain of salt, okay? But I think that I know the language that Savannah Guthrie... I think that we know the last thing that Savannah Guthrie said to her mother. I think, all right? So when this whole thing happened, I think that Savannah Guthrie said something to her mother. And I believe this is the line right here.
No, they expect one of us in the wreckage, brother.
Have we started the fire?
Yes. The fire rises.
I am such an asshole. I am a terrible person. I really am.
When this first happened, we're now a week into this. We received a lot of information from the Sheriff's Department with interviews and press releases. And then that all came to an end, and some of that information had to be walked back. And I think they've reevaluated how much information they're going to share and how willing they are to share specifics about that investigation. But one thing we've been consistently told is that they don't have a person of interest. They
My
don't have a
man,
suspect.
Isaac.
That's all that we're going off of.
Damn
But
right, it's
while
great.
we're being told
Great
that, we
movie.
also see that they continue to respond both to Nancy Guthrie's home and to the home of the sister, gathering information, taking photographs. It does seem like at least they're at work doing something.
Yeah, that's kind of the elephant in the room, though.
I saw somebody meme on that for Stranger Things, for the final season of Stranger Things, and there was that moment with the Holly girl and what's her face, the redheaded girl. I can't remember all their names now, but Max. When Max and Holly were in the upside down or in Vecna's head or whatever it was, and there was the portal for Max to leave, but Holly couldn't leave through that portal. And Max was like, "You can't leave through this one, but I can." And I saw somebody put the Bane meme. They were like, Max be like, "No, they expect one of us in the wreckage, brother."
They went back to the sister's house last night, took more pictures, took pictures in the garage, apparently. Should we glean anything from that, Josh?
It's so difficult to say. A lot of it's just being thorough. I think you could also make educated guesses that perhaps they're zeroing in on something, and maybe something inside of that residence is something that they're more curious about. But as we're having this conversation, you can tell that we're doing just as much reading of tea leaves as we possibly can, because we're just not being provided so much information from investigators themselves.
Yeah. Well, they say that if there are developments, they will call a news conference, and as of this moment, no news conference has been called. So they're still working the case with nothing big to share, apparently.
A lot
Josh
of
Ritter,
problems.
criminal defense attorney. Thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity
A lot
here.
of problems.
Hey, click here to
So this whole thing has it's just embarrassing at this point in time. And so they have, from what I understand, they have returned to they've been to the sister's home and then back to Nancy's home. And oh my gosh, Nick Too Shy for 50 says, did you see the Chinese Democrat that blamed all the world's problems on white people? The NFL just proved that California is a foreign country. I live here and half the population is Hispanics. Now I can't wait to move. Eminem is part of the cabal. 199. I did not see the Democrat say that. However, that sounds like a typical Democratic talking point. That's pretty much a Democratic talking point. So I get it. So no, but I didn't. So we got, God, well, at least you're up to $20 now. Trans Girly for 20 says, if you had 6 fingers, Jeremy, I have somewhere you could hide it. God. All right. You're up to 50 now. I'm not reading your shit unless you send me a 50 now. You're out. You're done. 50 minimum. Not reading your shit. Whiskey Niner says, this whole story doesn't make sense. It seems more like a cover up of some sort. I think that's I just don't even think it's questionable at this point. It is a cover up. Now, what are they covering up? I have no idea. But I obviously have theories. Let's see here. What is this? What is Savvy sending me? All right, hang on. Let's see. Savvy says 10 years ago, I made a video about how to be an e-girl. I privated it. And when I realized that girls were taking it seriously, not as a parody, I absolutely am going to regrift re-releasing it in this way that makes D-Day Cobra proud. There you have it, everyone. You can thank me, okay? You can thank me for this. You're welcome, internet. You're welcome. Chat's very, very excited about that. I don't know if Savvy's in the chat, but chat's very excited about that one. So, oh, dude, man. Dude, Candace can't be this dumb. Okay, hang on. Candace is a liar. I will still claim that Candace knows exactly what she's doing. I refuse to believe that she's stupid. I think Candace is actually very smart and she knows exactly what she's doing. Because she just posted this Turning Point USA with 10,000 views. The problem with people who have a lot of money they didn't earn is that they tend to have no idea how stuff works. No, this is not possible result if you truly had 5.2 million live viewers. Sorry, America. Everything is still fake and gay until further notice. Candace's theory here is that YouTube is lying for Turning Point USA. Candace is a compulsive liar, and she has zero shame in the lies that she is saying. She has zero shame. Candace has elevated herself to the top of every major conservative company. She's been with Turning Point. She's been with Daily Wire. She's been, what's the other one? The PragerU. She's been up there with PragerU. Candace is a manipulative person who will lie about everything. She knows what she's doing. She knows exactly what she's doing. Samsung 199 for $100 says, no idea what the F I just walked into, but a guy came on J-Stream bitching about Jeremy getting super chat. So here I am. That's what I'm talking about. Samsung. The man, the myth, the legend. $100 super chat. Let's freaking go. Thank you. I'm always happy when people are complaining about me. Makes me happy. Let's see. Udite for 20 says, did you see the AMA and American Society of Plastic Surgeons stated that gender-affirming surgery for kids is irreversible and validated by science? It's being applauded by the White House and other conservatives. Okay, hang on a minute. Did you see that AMA and American Society of Plastic Surgeons stated that gender-affirming surgery for kids is irreversible and validated by science is being applauded by the White House and other conservatives? I did not see this at all. So I'll have to look into that, but I did not. I apologize for not knowing about that one. I will check it out. Let's see here. East Coast Toasted Boy for 20 says, my gripe with the Nolan films were he wasn't comic accurate enough. Bane gets his strength from Venom. Also, wish he would have made more Bale films with Batman superpowered rogues too. Ivy, Croc, maybe Freeze, and Man-Bat too. I mean, and that's the thing I always said, like, you know, the point you're making there, like, when people are complaining about the Odyssey and not having, like, you know, historically accurate, I don't give a fuck about historically accurate armor. I don't give a shit. And Nolan did the same thing in the Batman films. He took a lot of liberties with the source material. He took a lot of liberties with that. But Nolan has never done the race swapping stuff. Race swapping is a common Hollywood problem right now that is ruining Hollywood. And so for Nolan to do that, that's the problem with the Odyssey. And it's a big problem. And I still am very confused by it because he did Dunkirk. You had a lot of feminists bitching about Dunkirk by not putting prominent women in prominent roles. Shut the fuck up. You had people complaining about Oppenheimer with, you know, like, whatchamacallit, like not having enough diversity in Oppenheimer, you know? And so it's like, there's certain ones like, okay, so you have something like Samuel L. Jackson in the MCU. You have Perry White in the fucking Man of Steel movies, played by Lawrence Fishburne. I mean, if you want to bring in like fucking, what's his name in the Nolan Batman movies, there's minor ones here and there, but it's like the Odyssey is egregious shit going on with the race swapping. It's egregious. This isn't like I have a good actor in a good role. Like, look at fucking Masters of the Universe. Idris Elba. Idris Elba's a great actor. I don't like the race swap there, but it's like, okay, whatever. It's Idris Elba. Okay. I can see Idris Elba being the legitimately best person for that position, that role. I can see that. I don't like it, but I can see that. Don't tell me John Leguizamo is the best anything. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me Lupita Nyong'o is the best Helen of Troy. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me Ellen Page is the best anything. Don't tell me that, because it's bullshit. All right. It's absolute bullshit. But taking liberties with here and there based on the story you're trying to tell, taking the more realistic and grounded approach to the Batman films, I never had a problem with that. I get the complaints about Bane. But I would say The Dark Knight Rises is the most comic booky Nolan Batman movie. It's got the most comic booky feel in it, even though Bane is not even close to like, you know, the Bane in the comics. So I get it. I do get those complaints. I do. But we'll see what happens with the Odyssey. I still like, I'm not going to back down. I think Christopher Nolan is the greatest director alive today. I think that his films speak for themselves, but what he's doing with the Odyssey, he's stepping in it, and I don't understand it, but it's all on him. It's not the studio. It's not the Oscars. It's not. That's a cope from people. That's bullshit. It is not the Oscars, and it's not the studio. It is Christopher Nolan. End of discussion. It's on him. Watch The Odyssey 1997 instead. Armand Asante. It's great. It's really great. Doug B, $1.99 for $1. Doug B, $1.99 for $1. Thank you, Doug B. Doug B, $1.99 for $1. Doug B, $1.99 for $1. Doug B just dropping them to keep the stream from freezing, helping stream quality super chat. Look at there. East Coast Toasted Boy says that I agree. Minor critiques on Nolan and best. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, my critique of Nolan is his sound design. Like, I think Tenet is awful in sound design. It's so bad. I think Inception had some minor sound issues, very minor. Dark Knight Rises has some sound issues. Nolan's Batman voice has some issues in The Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises, not so much in Batman Begins. Oppenheimer, no sound issues that I recall in Oppenheimer. Yeah, we'll see. See what happens. I stopped watching 10 after 20 minutes. I can't understand. I cannot. I don't listen. I have no problem admitting that sometimes I'm just dumb, and either I'm just too dumb to understand Tenet, or Nolan doesn't know what the fuck he's doing in that movie. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna lean with I'm just stupid. But I don't like Tenet. Doug B says first time viewer, first time superhero. Thank you, Dougie B. Hail to you, brother. Hope you're still here, man. Let's see. Minister of Wrong says the anti-Islam conservative Japan leader held a snap election to get a mandate for her agenda. She won in a landslide so large she literally has the ability to change their constitution if she wants. Damn. That's what's up. Let's see. And of course, Interstellar is my favorite movie. Listen, and I'll fully admit that, like, well, first of all, I just think Interstellar is a great movie, and it is what it is. But I have a personal connection with that because I am a sucker for a father-daughter, story. If it leans into that, so like something like Man on Fire, Man on Fire. I will never do a live watch party of any movie that ties into that. So like I will not do a live watch party of Man on Fire because I'm not letting the internet see me tear up. Movies like Armageddon, movies like Interstellar, those movies kick my ass. All right. So Udite says low tier dead channel tax. Well, I appreciate that. Veronid with 5 gifted memberships. Let's freaking go. And sad animal movies. I'm not an emotional guy. I don't really get too emotional, but I can't deal with sad dog movies. I'm not man enough to do it. And I'm man enough to admit that I'm not man enough to do it. I can't even watch Homeward Bound. And that's not even the saddest one. I just can't. I can't do anything with like sad dog movies though. I'm not man enough to deal with it. Marley and Me, I refuse to watch. Old Yeller, not watching. I'm not watching any of these fucking movies. So what's the one with the guy that puts gerbils in his ass? He's got a movie. Who's the actor that puts gerbils in his ass? He's got a sad dog movie. So many of you are like, what? Richard Gere. The fact that so many people know who I'm talking about. The fact that so many people know who I'm talking about. There's a lot of people, and a lot of you are like, what? And then there's like the autist in the chat are like, Richard Gere, bro. Richard Gere. Hachi, is that the name of it? Ooh. Woo. All right. Peter Sharon says, hail, Jeremy. What's up, Peter? Man, you've been watching forever, brother. Good to see you here. John on YouTube says, free membership, algorithm tax. Thank you. Marc-Andre Roy says, is this helping stream quality? Yes, it is. Thank you. I appreciate that. Means a lot. Narco says, real men cry during sad dog movies. They are our best friends. Damn right. Damn right. Can I legit say, I know he gets a lot of shit. But Michael Bay has made some great movies. I know he gets a lot of shit because of the Transformers movies and all of that. The Rock with Nick Cage and Sean Connery and Ed Harris is legitimately a great action film. Amazing. All right. Armageddon, phenomenal. 13 Hours, phenomenal. Dude, Michael Bay has made some great stuff, man. But yes, the Transformers movies, outside of the first one, the Transformers movies are horrible. They're really bad. But The Rock, oh my gosh, it's such a good movie. If you have not seen The Rock, like, stop what you're doing right now and watch that movie. It is great. I know a lot of people have that theory that Rock is a 007 film, Dying on That Hill. A lot of people have that theory. Rock was Bruckheimer, right? Yeah. Back in the day, you'd have Bruckheimer and Michael Bay. When you saw those as the tagline, you're like, oh shit. Oh yeah, this is gonna be good. But the first Transformers movie, I like. I do like the first Transformers movie. I can't stomach the rest of them. Heir to the Empire says, the sheriff fumbling, is he part of the cover-up or just incompetent? I think he's incompetent. I don't think he's part of the cover-up. I think he's incompetent. I'm going to go with incompetent on that one. Little Jim Sailor says, these narcissist assholes that never leer tax. Dark Warlord says, stream tax, I guess. Southeastern Kaiju says, as is crying right now. Oh, about the Patriots. John the Whiskey says, for once, I want Metallica in the halftime show. That would be cool. Suggan says, upset, I missed it, tax. I don't know what your name is. Mage for $10 super sticker. Thank you so much. Eldritch says, remember when halftime shows were in English and had American flags? Yes. The fact that anybody is trying to say, in a world where Michael Jackson performed at the halftime show, and for anybody to say that tonight's performance was one of the greats, we have fallen. We have fallen far. Because, oh my goodness, you're not going to touch Michael Jackson's, performance. His halftime performance, unmatched, dude. Nobody's better. Michael Jackson, the GOAT. Prince was GOAT as well. Prince's was great, but MJ, nah, man. Minister Von Thing says, I even had one of the Amish women I was driving tonight ask me if I could bring up the Turning Point show on my phone. Laughing my ass off. True story. Hell yeah, man. That's what's up. Lapco says, Sydney Sweeney and Justin Timberlake halftime. I'll be honest, because I used to, like, back in the day with Timberlake, a lot of his solo stuff, I liked a lot of Justin Timberlake's solo stuff. I thought Timberlake's halftime show was dog shit. I really did not like his halftime show. Now, the one with Janet Jackson, we got a nice surprise in that one, but I'm talking about his solo performance. I thought it sucked. I did not like it. Like, and I think Justin Timberlake's a fantastic live performer, actually. I think he's phenomenal. But I thought his Super Bowl performance was weak. And that was when he was pushing like that whole Man in the Woods or Man of the Woods gimmick and album. And I'm like, dude, man, like, what do you this is bad. It's not good. But he did like the suit and tie, that era, and he had mirrors and all of that. And he had the Crimea River and all of that. Like, those were great. Lapco says, I got that one. Jared Armstrong says, Trump called the Olympic snowboarder a loser. I did see that. ACC says, please react to Iran so far away. So again, I'm getting hit on a lot of those. So I'm going to have to run these through copyright before I can do a lot of them. So like I said, even the even a lot of the memes I'm getting hit on, and I'm just like, man, is it even hitting the AI stuff? I haven't been hit for the JD Vance, like the Creed one. They haven't hit me for that one yet, but they're hitting me for the AI shit now. Jake Stanley says, Seventh Day Slumber, give them a listen. CG says, his rap with Ben Shapiro is absolutely hilarious. Lapco says, white rap peaked with D.D. King Lowell. Gerald Armstrong says, Jeremy, listen to Hanson. I got one song that I know, but I've told this story before. All I know, and this is such an old story, I'm going to butcher parts of it, so I'm going to try to give the most surface level version of it, but back when I worked retail, because back then we had like several managers in the store, okay? And I had just been promoted to manager in this store, so I was a lower level manager. But we had one of the other managers, he was a couple of years older than me, and he was like early 20s, mid 20s or something like that. I don't remember specifically, but all I know is once I got, promoted to manager, and we were whatever, fucking Hanson song came on the radio, and we were just memeing on them. And somebody says, hey, don't mention them around. I'm not going to say his name. Like, don't mention them around so-and-so. I'm like, why? And I was like, we all fucking hate him. He goes, nah, bro. He's like, his ex is actually dating and engaged to the tall one. And I'm like, what? This can't be real. It turned out it was true. So this guy's ex-girlfriend was a big Hanson fan or whatever, and apparently was like dating the tall one in Hanson. This is fucking 20 years ago or some shit. So I don't know if they got married. I don't know what happened, but like, yeah. And I'm like, no fucking way. And like, he would legit, like, when their song came on, this motherfucker would just walk away and not say shit. And we were not tempting fate. All right. So yeah. I don't know if that continued, whatever. Were they dating or were they engaged? I can't remember, but funny shit, man. So Commodore fan says, I'm on T-Mobile 5G home internet. God, I'm about to die. I'm on T-Mobile 5G home internet. I've had issues all day. Normally, I get over 1 gig down. Something is up with the backbone provider this weekend. Well, even even my YouTube TV was having issues tonight. So, do I have Jade's? Probably. Tax says supposedly the kid he handed the Grammy to was the kid the left tried to say it was getting arrested. Oh God, that's cringe. Doug B199 says Jeremy loves Sinead O'Connor. She's got that one good song. Nothing Compares. But isn't she like a lunatic? Isn't she like a crazy person? CG says, why not get Dan Vasc at the TP USA show? Fuck that. TP USA don't get Dan Vasc. That's going to be G&G. Let's see. Wolfblade says Metallica should have been the halftime artist. Andy says, with arms wide open, Tax. Bubba Doom says, Garth Brooks killed country in the 90s. Let's see. Roy Acuff was the king of country. Now we have Figs with face tattoos and gastric bypass surgery. Jesus wept. Well, I can't say you're wrong in Garth ushering in a more pop-friendly audience. I fucking love Garth Brooks, especially his early stuff. Now, Garth Brooks is a horrible person. Like, look up the theories about Garth Brooks, all right? Garth Brooks should probably be the primary suspect in the Nancy Guthrie abduction. I'm just saying, okay? But like Rope in the Wind and No Fences, dude, come on, The Chase, like Garth's original stuff was fantastic. But he might be a serial killer. Allegedly. All right. But I love Garth Brooks music, man. I absolutely do. But he is fallen off. He has fallen off so bad. He's such a weird guy. He wouldn't go do Trump's inauguration. He claimed it was scheduling purposes. No, you're just a leftist loser. That's what you are. Let's see here. Justice says, does Dan Vasc perform live? Yeah, we answered that one. The Under Armour Gamer says, I saw them at BSA National Jamboree in 13. Brad Arnold was awesome. I'm pretty sure Toby Keith played at Trump's first inauguration. He did. Slane Hope says, no spoilers, but where is the big thing for my budget? What? I think I'm going to talk about that tomorrow, because I gotta see what all I can talk about. The Under Armour Gamer says, didn't Strait announce retirement after the tour? I hope not, because I really, really, really want to go see George Strait in person before he retires. I think he's running a tour this year. I think I would love to get a chance to see George Strait live if he ever comes to Florida. Bar King says, bro, the anti-Semitism ad was cringe AF, F the ADL. Epic Reader says, TPUSA halftime show rocked. Dave Moore says, Elmo is saying Bad Bunny is a good bunny. Storm Shadow says, where is the Sports Wars live stream halftime show? Was Beardo shit? Was Ryan and Fazoli's yelling at messing up his order? Doug Diggs says, Brady and Butler are not walking through that door. White Miki says, best stream ever. Luis says, I'm tired of hiding it. I love Justin Timberlake. I'm tired of pretending to be a Vado from Barrio. What goes around comes around as a banger. Oh, What Goes Around Comes Around is an awesome song. The music video is really fucking good too. It's got ScarJo in it. Harley Dave says, hey, Jeremy, do you think Candace is that omniscient? How does she say it? I can't remember how she says it. Omniscient. Isaac says, my last post on X got so much lib hate. It's wild. Keep it up. ACC says the CCP biolabs in the U.S. is more urgent story. Mimi Self and I says, positivity tax. Love the stream tonight and chat. Vault 199 says Dan Vaskin, Benology's sister for halftime show. Lapco says, just start the Somali Black Transgender Illegal Immigrant Conventions LLC. Amazing how much red tape will disappear. Spelling for YouTube, Paul. I got you. Let's see. Clamum says, Tim Dillon, he's been accused, therefore he's guilty. Trump, I'd estimate his IQ is be roughly 75 to 80. Damn it, MAGA Mike, I just had one of yours and it disappeared on me. Slain Hope says, the comedians will always be on the side of illegals because every comedy club is run by cheap bastards that use illegal labor. They're all complicit. Jeevan Baylor says, hey, Jeremy, am I your fire, your one desire? Yes, I know it's too late, but I want it that way. Good God. This chat is a disaster, and I love it. Let's see. Let me see what the latest update is. So right now, the Turning Point USA, let me see where their views are up to right now. Even though Candace Owens thinks it's 10,000 is what Candace was saying. So right now it's clocking in at 17 million views for their halftime show right there. So yeah, look at that. Good job from them. Great job, man. 17 million views. Yeah, all you can say is that is a major success. Let's see what, I haven't looked at my feed here in a minute. So, if you don't scroll, if you just don't refresh social media for like, I don't know, fucking 2 seconds, you miss everything. That's pretty much how it goes. Let's see. Oh, by the way, we got to cover something. I got to cover this because I covered it on D-Day Cover 2. And unfortunately, we have a follow-up to this. So Friday, we had streamer Emiru, and she had a statement that she made about streamers giving their opinion, okay? Went viral. This was her statement right here. This was the first statement, and then we have an update.
Like, there's a certain extent where I'm like, okay, sure, I get people wanting big content creators to, like, say their opinions on, like, important topics. I get that, right? But it's like, if you need a streamer who doesn't even know anything about politics to tell you about politics, you probably just need to, like, get off the internet. Like, just stop. Like hello? Like, I don't, like, what? Like, how am I gonna, I don't know, get help? Like, even, like, I don't know. Like, obviously I don't, like, dislike any of the political streamers, except for, like, some of, like, the really bad ones. I don't really like them. But it's like, I don't understand how in the first place people care so much what they say. I guess just because they just have a lot of reach or influence, but it's like, why are you listening to them in the first place? I don't know.
So that's what she had to say. In a nutshell, she simply said, somebody asked her what her opinion on ICE is, and her response was, I don't really understand why you're asking streamers that don't know anything about politics. I think if that's what you're asking, you should probably just get off the internet. I agree with that 100%. The problem is, ladies and gentlemen, the left has now decided to go after her. This chick, Denims, who is a crazy leftist and friends with Hassan Piker, decided to label Emiru a racist for not giving a strong opinion. And so this was the response right here. It got 3.5 million views, 44,000 likes. So she started getting hate from all over the internet. And of course, you know what happens next. You know exactly what happens next. Emiru drops a long statement clarifying her stance on ICE and the dramas surrounding her. Now, this was my response to this. I ain't reading all that. I'm happy for you, or I'm sorry that happened, because I ain't reading all this shit. But I'll give the talking points from Yeet here. Quote, should go without saying, no one deserves to live in fear for being killed or taken away from their homes or families, regardless of who is doing it, but especially not because ICE or any other government agency, something that has always been important to me. God. Let me reword that for you, Emiru. People that break the law deserve whatever's happening to them at that point. Simple as that. People that break the fucking law, people that resist arrest, people that are trying to get involved in law enforcement business deserve whatever the fuck happens to them. Okay? Simple as that. So listen, I have no dislike for Emiru. I don't know her. I don't watch her. So I can't sit here and say I know a lot about her. I think that she is simply trying to, this is what the left does. This is what they do. They will completely overwhelm you so that you will say what they want you to say. And that's what's happened to her. She has been overrun with them. And now they have gotten her to bend the knee to where they want her to be. And I don't think she has any bad intent to it. I think that she simply doesn't want to be involved in this shit. But that's where we are with it, unfortunately. And it kind of was always going to happen because, some people just are not, cut out for this stuff. And that's exactly what happened. Now, Asmongold, who is friendly with her. I don't know. There's a lot of people have theories about their relationship, whatever. But Asmon defends Emiru for not condemning ICE and says that she's not involved in politics. And this is before her clarification statement, but let's listen to Asmongold really quick.
It's like, Emmy, a lot of people were getting mad at Emmy for not wanting to comment on politics. I'll talk about that later on. I want to talk about it right now. But I did see that. It's just stupid. It's of course, right, the usual suspects, right? The same usual hostile, aggressive bullies on the internet. It's like you're either with us or you're against us. You either have to tell us our opinion back to us, or we attack you as if you have the opposite one, which is bullshit. They're assholes. They're terrible people. And I don't know why anybody really... I don't see how people that do that can think that they're in the right at all. I don't. But it's very frustrating for me to see something like that, especially whenever it's someone who's not even involved. Like, it's basically like these are the people that say that, well, nothing is politics if it's my opinion, but anything that you agree with isn't politics. I find this to be very problematic. I don't like it at all. And she's not a political streamer? No, she's not even involved in that at all. Like, she has nothing to do with that. And you've got to keep in mind, the reason why a lot of people don't talk about politics is it's because they don't want to seem uneducated or like get their opinion out there. Like, I mean, Emmy's a big streamer, right? Why do you want to use your platform to talk about something that you're not informed about? And so really, I mean, if somebody doesn't feel comfortable talking about something, then anybody who's trying to bully them into talking about it really doesn't actually want them to talk about it. What they want is for that person to agree with them and then repeat their opinion. They want to effectively co-opt other people's platforms, bully them into
Correct.
agreeing
He's
with them
100% right.
or saying the same thing that they do. And if you don't let them co-opt and take over your platform and tell you what to say, then they just make up lies about you and try to destroy your reputation. The thing is that there are people that don't want to play the game. There are people that don't want to be involved. And whenever you say, I don't want to be involved, it doesn't mean that you don't care. It means that you want to take a step back and let somebody who understands it better explain it for you. Because, like, I mean, there's already a million people, for example, talking about every political issue. Like, what unique insight is like a live streamer going to have, right? I mean, especially like, I mean, yeah, maybe if it's somebody that covers this stuff regularly, but like if you play video games for a living, it's not like you're going to have some kind of unique insight on, you know, like expanding the scope of human knowledge about.
Very, very true. Now, he did also add this to the equation. So he and Tectone and Emiru used to have a podcast called Steak and Eggs. So he said this about that podcast that went away.
But I will leak this. The reason why that podcast ended is because of Emiru. She didn't want to do it anymore because she didn't want to be involved in the controversy and the stuff that me and Tectone were getting into. And it's not even that like she hated us or anything else. She just didn't want to be involved. Not everybody wants to fixate and build their entire life around politics.
Now, he says he's leaking this. He didn't leak anything. He had a conversation with Emiru and they were like, hey, I'm going to put this out there to take the heat off of you. I'm going to let them know you disassociated with us because you didn't want to be involved in this, and that'll put some good light on you. They're way too close to not have that conversation. He's not saying something that he hasn't had a conversation with her, and that's fine. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. He's doing his best to take up for his friend, which I fully respect. And it, you know, like, it is what it is. I think Asmon's a great guy. I think he's a really good dude. I think he cares about her. I think he cares about his actual friends a lot, and he's willing to take heat. That's what a real friend does. And that's very, very respectable for him to do that. But at the end of the day, it's not going to matter. It doesn't matter. Like, and I think he's probably, because Asmon's usually got a very level head on how he approaches things. But ultimately, him saying that she wanted to step away from their podcast because she didn't want to be involved will mean absolutely nothing to the people that are calling her names, because ultimately she still was connected to Asmon in any way, shape, or form. And as long as she has not labeled him publicly a Nazi and a racist, then they will always hold her responsible for that relationship with Asmon Gold, unless she goes full Ashley St. Clair versus Elon Musk and MAGA. Those people will always hold her accountable. And it's why you can never ride the fence with the left. You can't do it. It's impossible. It's impossible because they will always go after you. Always. I'm a huge MAGA supporter, and I don't think Emiru needs to have a pro-MAGA opinion at all. I think she should do whatever the hell she wants. And if that means she's pro-MAGA, great. If that means she's anti-MAGA, great. If that means that she doesn't give a flying fuck about MAGA, great. I think she should do whatever the hell she wants, and I think everybody else should do whatever they want. Like, for me, I intentionally do like things out of spite out of people. I mean, this whole show is out of spite of Tim Pool. This entire show, Cobra Cast, is just to spite Tim Pool. That's all it was ever. Obviously, it's grown beyond that now, but it was created just to meme on Tim Pool. That's why it was created. You know, when people say, Jeremy, you're a Nintendo shill, I'll go shill for Nintendo even harder. Jeremy, you're a Nolan shill. I'll go buy 5 tickets to the Odyssey just to piss you off. Jeremy, stop watching football. I'll watch more football. I don't fucking care what people call me. I don't care what I'm labeled. I don't care. Call me racist, I'll be more racist. Call me sexist, I'll be more sexist. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Or I'll just do the exact opposite sometimes just to piss people off too. Whatever works. But either way, I hope this is the end of the controversy for her sake. But unfortunately, she's such a big streamer, and these people that are going after her are getting a lot of traction for talking about her. So I don't think it's going to go away anytime soon, unfortunately. So, and we'll see. We'll see what happens. Where are we at? Minister of Wrong Things says Trump is saying nice things about the Clintons to take away the Dems' ability to claim the investigations are retaliatory. Simple as. MAGA Mike says, you know who hasn't sold out? Tony, is it Hinchcliffe? That's Kill Tony. He seems like a decent guy. I've seen him a few times on Rogan, and I've heard some of his stand-up. He seems like a funny dude. Let's see. Jeremy, stop giving me $100 per week. Well, you know what? I would have, but you misspelled giving. I would have done it, but you misspelled giving. That was your opportunity right there. That was your opportunity right there. And you misspelled giving. Those are the rules, man. Those are the rules. Pal tells us if you watch the Boomer Olympics halftime show, congrats. You now have AIDS. That guy, Anthony, says Ryder flipped on Don Lemon and named him as an organizer. What? Seriously? Can somebody post that like on Twitter or whatever? I want to know about this. Please let me know. All right. Oh, wait a minute. Let me see. I'm trying to see. I don't even know. Hang on. Can people even join this fucking subreddit I made? I truly don't know. I don't know. Can people even join? I think I have it set to private. Nobody can even fucking join yet. So I don't even fucking know. I don't know how to work Reddit. Anyway, we'll see. Mount Mutt says the question is, how have I been here this long? The question is, how has Jeremy survived doing this for this long? That's true. I requested, you didn't approve. Fuck. Where are my requests at? Like, I truly know nothing about Reddit. Mods and members, invites, recruiting. I don't see any requests. Fuck me. I got to look it up, see how to work this shit. This is the first time I've ever used it. So John says, I asked to join cricket so far. What a fucking retard I am. How stupid am I? So I've created a community that nobody can join, or either I can't find you to approve you. How stupid am I? Mod log. Actions. Yeah, I don't see where anybody's at to add you. What an idiot. Your first issue is using Reddit. Joseph says, oh, we have a community. Yeah, the Cobra Cast subreddit. MAGA Mike says, Kid Rock changed culture tonight. Bro, he proved you can successfully be an alternative to the machine, even on one of the biggest nights of the year. Agreed. Coopster says, how many times will you say, love this channel, just work on not, saying, thank you. Lapco says, Nancy Guthrie had info that Charlie Kirk and Jeffrey Epstein were both alive and well in Tel Aviv. Candace Owens told me. Suggan says, liberal lady's mom goes missing. Minnesota who? Vic Chavez says, this shit's playing out like the ID TV special, bruh. Dwayne says, I will say to this six-figured man, hello, my name is Ingo Montoya. Phil says, my new theory, the mom Minecrafted herself and the family is making up a story to claim life insurance. That's a pretty realistic one. Dracon says, this is also crazy. I wouldn't be surprised if it was all a distraction from the public from the Epstein files. Hail to 199. Luis says, but we are initiated. John Jones says, didn't catch the game, but saw the score during the fourth quarter. Man, what an embarrassment for the Patriots. I mean, I said I was pulling for the Patriots, but I felt like the Seahawks were going to win. The Seahawks were the better team. Jeremy does say a lot. The mods have mentioned it so many times. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just going to say even more now. Fantastic Mr. Knox, Logan Paul hated the halftime show. I can't tell where I'm actually saying it and where I'm adding it for meme purposes now. A boy named Blue says the arrival to Earth scene in Transformers is enough to make a grown man cry, and the chills of my name is Optimus Prime still there every time. Yep. Taker says, Trump, I feel sorry for Savannah. Some say she has 6 fingers. I think Ingo, I'm going to say it, Montoya is after her now. Heir to the Empire says, don't die tax. John Jones says, MegaCon meetup last year was 1 year ago tonight. Can't wait to see y'all in March. Let's fucking go. Celebrity Jeremy says, just stopping by to say Hawks win. By the way, the halftime show would be way better if it was the World Cup soccer game. Definitely not Great American halftime show. That was a real Rye the guy says, Jeremy, there's no way she wrote that statement. Either AI did or the PR did. The word like doesn't appear nearly enough. Should I say like instead of Should I try that? 1992 space movie. Emiru was like the one who like got attacked in like the TwitchCon. She's likely scared like about the backlash and what could happen like. John Jones says, I had basically like Emiru's stance in college like and felt like overwhelming pressure from lefties I knew. Like my eventual response was to say F you and vote for Trump. Darth Gavel says, stop showing us like Sydney Sweeney tax. Like Capucci says, tomorrow is like the 3-year anniversary of Cobra Cast 199. Jim P says, we kind to Clinton like is not a bad thing. Some of like MAGA were for Clinton in the 90s. John Wayne, Jeremy, how stupid am I? Like, I want the honest answer. Lapco, Jer, like, I forbid you to watch any gay adult movies. Absolutely none. Like, that's right. Do what you're told, like little punk testing your theory. I'm kind of fucking this up. Like, Coopster, you missed my super like. People are tuning out at this point. Jess said, I'm a fucking quit. Coopster says, I got Jim P says, I didn't support Clinton in the 90s, but things were great for economics thanks to Newt's GOP. JDT 199 says, like. It's actually worse that, please go back to, pretty great. Okay. Ziania says, some Arkham sauce, please. Johnny the Whiz Kid says, can I just vent with you? It's going to put into parts. So here, 1, I've been feeling a bit depressed. Too much Twitter. Still need explanations. There are things that just worry me. 2, I brought attention to Dr. Turley on James O'Keefe's video about the FBI. I mentioned Cash being lazy and lack of arrest to the higher ups and asked if we get more seats in the midterms, we can replace him. 3, remembering Jim Jordan and Matt Gaetz didn't get the job because the House didn't want him. I only wonder if we get more seats, we could get someone better who is for MAGA, but Turley wants us to keep giving Cash a chance, not fighting against Trump. Give it time. I'm just cautious because Trump's picks in the first term fought him and delayed work. I just want this last chance to fail. The 3 other things that worry me are Muslim invasion, young students out protesting with teachers violently, and Iranian mass casualties. Trump has yet to act, and I'm worried. Generally, just a lot of anti-white rhetoric. I can't believe it. This is where we are. I wonder how long this is going to continue. Like, I'm scared to go anywhere without getting attacked. Stay safe. You need to get off social media, brother. That's really what you got to do. You got to get off social media. That's your biggest problem. There are problems Dude, am I frozen? Are you fucking kidding me? Am I frozen? Fuck me. Yep. All right, let's see. Does it work now? I'm not frozen on my end. Is it fixed? Is this a thumbnail? You were frozen for like 30 seconds? Okay. But anyway, Johnny, get off social media. Like, seriously, judge the world as your own eyes see it in the real world. Don't judge the world based on what Twitter and Facebook and Instagram tells you. There are problems. There are problems that need to be dealt with. But judge the world based on your eyes and your eyes alone. As I have said many, many times, growing up, I didn't have social media because there was no social media. I didn't have a cell phone because nobody had cell phones. I had no idea what was going on in the next neighborhood, much less everything around the world. I had no concept of that. So in my mind, and in everyone's mind that's my age, we all think back to our childhood as, man, the world was not dog shit when we were kids. Yes, it was. It absolutely was. We just didn't know about it. The world has always had problems, and there's always been problems everywhere. We just didn't know about it. Now social media tells you literally every bad problem from everywhere in the world all day long. That's what social media does. If you consume social media nonstop and fail to have the perspective of what the real world is, you will think the world is falling apart all day, every day. There are problems. There are problems that need to be dealt with. There are problems that need to be addressed. But have perspective on everything that's going on. But don't get overly consumed with the internet. That's it. That's why my job, whether it's entertainment, whether it's sports, whether it's politics, whatever, I don't try to tell people what they want to hear. I try to give my opinion on something, and then I try to give the perspective outside of what the internet is trying to say. People get mad at me when I keep saying that The Odyssey is going to be a huge movie. People are like, this is going to be Nolan's first flop. No, it's not. Stop. It may suffer, and I hope that it does suffer. But if you think The Odyssey is going to be a flop, you're wrong. Just like the people that said The Switch 2 was going to be a flop. You're wrong, and the facts have now shown that. The Switch 2 is the best-selling video game console in history after 7 months. I tried to tell all these motherfuckers that, and they all said, you're just a Nintendo shield, Jeremy. No, I'm just telling you the truth, that it was going to be a success. You're listening to people lie to you all fucking day long. Go back to the Barbie movie. I did not see the fucking Barbie movie. I didn't want to see that shit. But I remember Ryan trying to tell people this movie is going to be a huge hit. And so many people kept telling Ryan, you're retarded. You don't know what you're talking about. The fucking Barbie movie did $1.5 billion fucking dollars. And the people that it was made for fucking loved it. And people were constantly saying, this movie's going to flop. It's not going to fucking flop. Now, Star Wars will probably flop. Maybe. I'm not convinced that Star Wars is going to flop, but I'm not convinced it's going to be a success either. And there's a lot of data to support that, especially with that shit they released for the Super Bowl tonight. Star Wars is in trouble, big time. Same with Wicked. Yes, people thought Wicked was going to flop. Now, this is the first Wicked. And the first Wicked did great. The second one did okay, but certainly did not hit the level that the first one did. But people were saying Wicked was going to flop. No, the fuck it wasn't. It was never going to fucking flop. Have perspective outside of your own. That's what I try to do. Not always the popular thing. You get yelled at because people want to hear what they want to hear. They don't want to hear perspective outside of their own. They want to hear what they're being told constantly by people who are motivated to tell you lies. This goes back to the Candace Owens things. Candace Owens is lying to you. Candace Owens is lying to you every fucking day. She is a liar. She is a liar on everything she says. There is not an honest bone in that bitch's body. And she has earned a lot of money from lying to people. A ton. There's a lot of people on the political side that are lying to you every fucking day. The bottom line is Donald Trump is having a very successful second term. Are there problems? Yes. Are there things that need to be addressed? Yes. But Donald Trump has been overwhelmingly successful in his second term. Now, if we hyperfixate on the negative without mentioning any of the positives, then you can make a case that it's been a disaster. If you're a fucking idiot, you can do that. Or you can have perspective outside of the echo chambers that get created. And that's what I try to do, is give perspective. You're welcome. Ember Ventura says, made you laugh, Tax. Damn right. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for making me laugh. It always helps. 1992 Space Movie says, I got that one. Darth Gavel says, doesn't like Sydney Sweeney, like he's so like gay. Oh my God, did I create this monster? Booming Bob says, for the love of all that is holy, please stop. My brain is going to die or you're going to like the Snake Eyes movie. Whew. John Jones says, Vicular was mid-jester gooning. That's that guy, the looks maxing guy that got arrested or whatever. Yeah, the streamer. Uber driver says, celebrating 1 year since my heart attack. Dude, prayers up. That's serious shit. Prayers up, man. That is serious right there. I am terrified of a heart attack just because it's so sudden, you know? So I'm actually going to go back. Like, I like to get like my, like testing just to see where I'm at with stuff like that. But that's, man, prayers up for you, brother. Happy to hear that. Grandis of Potato says that we didn't start the fire. It was always burning since the world's been turning. We didn't start the fire. No, we didn't light it, but we tried to fight it. Little Billy Joel in the house. Lapco says, read this like as Beardo. Lickety. I don't know what you're trying to get me to say. Fuck you. I'm not going full John Campea, okay?
All right. Smelly Negro. I love that name. Which hockey movie chant, I swallow knickers come? No idea.
Russell Hall says, what the hell is that on your lip? I even shaved today. Y'all still yelling at me? I even shaved today. Lydia Mex Game says, saying like makes you more of an IDOT. I approve. Never gets old. Absolutely not. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we made it 3 hours on the surprise stream that was not planned. A 3-hour Cobra cast in the books. I still don't know how to add people on. I don't know how to fucking do this. Like, I'm literally trying. So somebody messaged me and called me a Nazi. Yeah, somebody called me a Nazi right here on Reddit. Already got called a Nazi right here. See? There it goes. So that was 2024. Okay. So there you go. I got called a Nazi already. So welcome to Reddit, boys. So this is, I don't know how to add people yet. We have a Cobra Cast Reddit that I created. I don't know how to fucking operate it yet. I'll need to work on this, so I'll figure it out. Also, if you're pending approval, I'll see if I can add you. I really don't know what to do. But please go over to geeksandgamers.com, click that RSVP link, and make sure you sign up if you're going to be at the meetup. We are well on our way to being completely maxed out. We've got a few hundred spots left. So add me, bro. I'm sorry. I'm trying. Rule 1, respect others. Be self. First of all, I didn't make that fucking rule. That's the generic rule. All right. My dude, fuck you. I didn't make the rule. That's a generic rule. I didn't add any rules yet. Laughing Man says RSVP twice. Add me. Okay, fuck me, dude. How do I add people? I'm just going to leave my own subreddit. How about that? All right, how about on my phone? Can I add people on my phone? Okay, let's see here. Notifications. Request. Accept. What am I accepting? Accept. Blacklight 428. I just accepted something. It doesn't tell me what I'm accepting though. This is bad. So it says I have it says I have no visitors and nobody wants to join. That's what it says. How about I make it mod notifications activity? It says nothing. Fucking hell. Congrats, you have Jades. I try. Anyway, we'll see if I can get this shit to work. Coopster says, last one. Thank you. He's from Alabama. 13 toes just confuses things. I want a cheeseburger. Black light, Ryan probably. Do better. Boomer? Yeah. Dude, but not as bad as Gary. Gary has never, now I'm not saying it's a good song. Gary has never heard the thong song. We talked about this on Friday Night Tights. We were memeing on the thong song from Cisco, and Gary's old ass says, what's the thong song? We're like, the thong song, every single body knows that song. Nobody likes it, but everybody knows that song. Everybody knows that song. There's no way. And he even said afterwards, he goes, he said, I listened to it after the show. I've never heard this. I'm like, there's no fucking way, Gary. You just forgot that you heard it. There's no way. He was in prison during that era. Did Reddit do its redo its whole thing, his whole website? I guess so. Full permissions. Looks like Jess is trying to help me. Okay, you have a new accept a chat request. Yeah, you would think that it just says like, I'm looking for approved users and all of that. And it just doesn't tell me anything about it to approve. Community type. Why is it on mature? Okay, anyone can view, but only approved users can. Fuck it. I'll figure this shit out later. I don't want to do this. Welcome to the hell once you put this public. Johnny was his, you watched MTV Spring Break Marathon back in then? Oh, yeah. I used to watch MTV Spring Break back in the day. It was awesome. Maybe just unprivate it to make it easier. Okay. Let's see here. Community type. Let's make it restricted. It's wanting me to give it a reason why I'm changing it from restricted. So I don't want to do that yet. I have to give a fucking reason why I'm changing the visibility of the community? The fuck kind of retarded shit is this? Anyway, US Jade says, we did give you the green light. I was not notified. Thank you. Disinfected scientist, yes, you will. All right. Jessica's sending me tips on how to do this. So let's see. Okay. To approve people joining your private Reddit, find request in your mod mailbox. All right. Let's stop sharing this screen. Mod mailbox. Where the fuck's the mod mailbox? Go to moderator tools. Okay. Mod tools. Okay. And then go to edit approved submitters. I don't see where edit approved submitters is. I see mods and members, approved users, but there's nobody to approve. Invites, reoccurring. This is crazy. Mod log. I'm waiting for somebody here in the chat to tell me that knows anything about running a fucking subreddit. But I don't see any users to approve. He'll get it eventually. That's what the ladies say to me. Mod mail. Okay, here we go. Bitches, I think we got it. Bitches, we got it. All right. Hang on. Oh, fuck. There's a lot of people requested. Holy shit, there's a lot of people. Can I approve all? It only gives me mark as read, though. There's a lot of people that have already requested. Cal, can I just... Is there not an approve all function? I gotta go and approve each one? There's a lot of fucking people. It says user highlight archive mark as read. What does archive mean? Do not approve all. 3 hours later. I see like people are saying, let's go 199. It's time, son. Hail to 199. Let me in this. Hello, please add 199, 199, 199. Please add me. Long time 199 listener. More actions. This is crazy. All right, look, here's what I'm fucking looking at here. Where do I approve? I clicked this button right here as user. All right. Highlight, archive, mark as read. How the fuck do I add you? Meet the new mod mail. If you prefer, you can continue using classic mod mail until February 26th. Gotta grift this. Super chat the answers. Jeremy quits Reddit. All right, let's go to classic. Let's go to classic. See what that is. Oh, here we go. Oh, if I go to classic, it just gives me I can approve. Okay. So just approve. Fuck me. What happened? All right. Approve. Okay. So at least I can do it that way. All right. Fuck it, boys. We're in. All right. I'll approve everybody. Here we go. Get everybody in. All right. Are you happy now? You go to classic mod mail. It's a lot easier. I'm approving everybody. All right. There we go. Everybody's happy. You can post. I've got it listed as an like not safe for work. That doesn't mean you can post porn and shit like that. And by the way, it's Reddit rules. All right. Don't get the fucking like we're gonna run this community like every other fucking community that we have. It's the platform rules. So don't go in there saying shit that is going to get the community in trouble because I don't want to get it banned. We're just trying to give people a place where you can send stuff to me to react to, but don't go in there dropping N-words and shit like that. That's what Rumble's for. Okay. All right. Anyway, I guess I have to approve each person manually. Mods, you guys have some new jobs. Okay. This is what I do. I just do shit and I don't think about it. So we'll see what happens. All right. Thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate it. John Wayne says this is the most riveting content of the night. All right, guys. Thank you all so much. I really do appreciate it. Hope you have a good night. And we'll see you tomorrow. I'm on Geeks and Gamers Daily in the morning, by the way, with Ryan. The return of me and Ryan tomorrow. And then I'll see you guys for CobraCast tomorrow as well. Have a good night. We'll talk to all of you later. Bye, everyone.